Come on, bro.
Hip hop down to my bone. Hip hop, this is my phone. Hip to 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 hip.
Damn, I'm making beats for benefit.
Scandinavian. Hey, hit him with the Scandinavian.
All right, are we gonna record on this too? On the phone?
Yeah, for sure. We should just start that. Clap, clap, clap.
So, yeah, I mean, if you're not on that, really, it's for the fans in the chat interact.
And this is Gucci angle-wise. Y'all got it, right? It's Gucci?
Yeah.
As far as angles, girl.
You want to look at it one time? Make sure?
No, I trust your eye, bro.
Can you make sure I press record?
Oh, but Elmac gotta check it.
It's recording.
It's all for his channel. Yeah. Should we move or anything? You see the RLX?
I can move the mic maybe a little bit because I want you to scoot a little bit closer.
That's where it is
there, and then move the mic back in.
Move with the mic.
Well, I just wanted him to get a little bit more.
Why did this fool say move with the mic?
Because I feel like Chase is more in the frame.
Yeah.
Tight. So should I
move this tiny?
Just move the cam.
Move it how you think it should be.
Move the cam.
What the fuck? It's the next part. Hey.
Yeah, there you go.
Look at the first thing on this phone.
How you guys met?
Oh, it's you guys? Oh, I thought it said how guys met. My bad, bro. Hey, are you phone tracking? You're thinking? No, I looked at it. I was like, how guys met? What the hell?
Like, I wonder how to be.
Hey, are you memo tracking me right now?
Trying to get rich.
Dude, outfit tracking. Hey, did you fuck with... Okay, so you saw the season finale. Did you fuck with the whole season?
So we can't smoke during this shit?
That's weird. Good. Nah.
I mean, I was doing it
You should have monetized off this anyway.
Yeah.
Hey, you know he said it's finna be on?
Yeah,
we finna be smoking on watch. Well, you were there.
Hey, damn, can I get a chaser or something? That should burn all types of demons in my body.
Well, that's because I have exercised
is your thing
the
still
demon.
On?
Mm-hmm. You remember that?
Internet?
When he was doing Richard Simmons and Ace Ventura? I have exercised the demon.
Where's the link?
Do me and you sound hella more Mexican since we moved to LA?
Yeah.
Keep it real, Ilmac. Do me and you sound more Mexican since we moved to LA?
Yeah.
A little bit though, right? Like a little, because I'll be saying shit. I'll be like, "What the fuck?" I sounded hella Mexican.
Is it the server URL? I didn't know because it's RTMP. It looked weird to me.
Okay, maybe it's not that, but it looks like it's that.
Open up a new, copy paste, open up a new window, man.
A new window?
Innuendo, bro. And what about you, Bobby? Do you think that I talk more Mexican since I moved to LA?
Hell
no. do you think that that's lit, or do you think that's gentrification?
I know how to find new shit.
See, I'm over here
trying to
distract you all.
I could just go to it.
Nah, look, it's right here.
Go
it's gonna be
it.
right here. You'll be good. It's gonna pop up on your Elmac television.
Elmac Telemundo?
Television.
Because I don't know if I saved going public, because I started off private.
Yeah, like every soldier, nigga, chill out.
I mean, you don't start off as private, though.
You don't? Damn.
Nah. You start off as scrub.
Nah.
Private.
I'm just going along with whatever you're saying, because you know what you're talking about.
Hey, I do got a chaser if you want me to get it.
Yeah.
Latest now, live with studio.
I'm gonna keep the
Why it look like a thing, you know? Why it look like a thing?
I wonder if people are gonna get figuring it out.
Yeah.
Big Avo ain't in this bitch.
Hey, Sprite or cream soda Fago?
Because I was started off private.
Cream soda Fagos.
Yeah, like every soldier.
Sprite's cold, cream soda Fago's not.
Sprite.
You know, damn.
Hey, there no more cups?
Nah. Yeah.
I don't really want to go with the whole Sprite. Fuck around spirit on
Hey,
myself.
I do got a chaser if you want me to get it.
Do you put it on the other internet? Do you think the other internet will be better?
Nah, it was hella whack earlier.
Our body
They're just gonna have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Is it public?
I wouldn't.
We're watching it.
So you and Bobby are all up in this shit, but your boy ain't. Okay, all right.
Look,
wait, that's Omax cup, bro. You gotta figure this out.
What's popping?
What? Go.
Hey, you gotta bear with us.
Only got one cup.
What happened to all the cups?
Let's just share the cup, bro. Look, here.
I'm gonna go find my own cup.
Man,
hey, bear with us.
Get on this.
What? You gotta bear.
Live?
Yeah, man. Yo, bear with us for the slow stream speed. Working with shitty internet right now, and the man Avo isn't here. We're doing this, you know, in house.
In his.
Why the fuck did you throwing shit at me? This shit just flew and hit me. This shit fell on my back. And then to go.
Oh, you know what? Tiny's been looking for this.
Bro, it literally, like your
that.
elbow was, and hit me.
Tiny's been looking for this.
That shit hit me like
No, I see that in my peripheral. I'm not joking. Facts.
Yo, it's crazy that you found this.
It hit me right here, but it like flew at me.
Oh, Tiny, we
got it recorded. So we might have you might see a little orb. You might see an orb.
Alright.
You know how to get the big boy cup for the big boy.
What's his name?
Hey, can you pass me some green?
Alright, we don't want that open. We just wanted to check. So go ahead and close that. Just gonna flip it the
Or can we mute it?
Well, you have the live chat in that. Just click the live chat over here. Like, can you make it? Because what you could do is don't watch this. Bring up the OBS.
Should I lean closer or that? No, that's just a live stream. I guess it'll probably look better if I lean in for the other one too. Right?
You're good either way. Can you expand the borders on that screen to the left? The red borders and right? No.
Doesn't change the angle.
Yeah, don't make it big. Yeah, make it. All right.
Wait,
so.
I don't know. Fuck, I think I'm fucking it up now.
Nah.
That's
the red's just where the screen the screen.
That's
the
fine, but then just make it smaller and then bring up the live chat. So he usually has it through here, and then the chat.
Yeah, he be do. Oh yeah, it stop. I recognize the start shit. So yeah, he be do.
All right, bear with us, y'all.
Fuck with it.
Or you.
Oh,
yeah. Bear with us, you.
I'm about to blast this little link out.
Oh, dude, my fucking phone's not charging. I really want to tweet and promote this. It's all right.
All right.
We're gonna put it out later, so I mean, you got it covered.
All right, it's gonna be too hot to do. Shit.
Really? I actually cooled down. It's weird. I was like hella hotter earlier, but I cooled down.
Like this, right?
What up? Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Okay, cool. Here, this your cup. Don't give me that shit.
Before we kick this off, what up, chat?
What's up, y'all? What's poppin'?
All right, so I know the stream speed might be a little slow, might fluctuate. The sync might get off, but Big Avo ain't here. This is all in-house, and we're going to chop it up and make the best of it. I want to talk about some shit, and then we're going to answer some questions and get into it. Give us 1 sec. I'm going to blast this link out real quick.
You can't do me like that. You can't tilt it more towards shit. We're going to have to figure that out. If I come back, I guess this is just for the
yo, what's poppin', everybody? 667. Go bump Chopper Reed if you ain't bumped it yet.
Chopper Reed, Chase Moore, Bobby Bucher album out now on all digital media. Found at 667
Cult. Audio right here too.
.com.
Yeah.
Okay. Fuck that promo, huh?
Yeah.
Fuck the website, huh?
All right. What is that? What's the website?
667cult.com, and that's cult with a K.
I don't even know how you see on your phone how you see
KULT.com.
All right, I'll just have that there.
Hey, can you
no. I rolled the last one.
Just pass it. It's on your side. It really is over there.
All right. We might get into some rap shit. We might not. 1 sec. All right. Now's where we can sync because we're going to edit it anyway.
Oh, okay.
We're already synced.
All right. Ilmac TV. Thanks for tuning in. Shout out to the live chat, tuning in live with us in the digital flesh. Here with Bobby Bucher, Chase Moore.
Hello, hello.
Chidda Mutta. I want to talk some shit. You know what I mean? I want to connect with the fans live.
Yep.
And ultimately, I want to get into talking about Chopper Reed, the new record. I know you guys
Chopper
just put out
Reed.
something new. But before we get into that,
yeah,
because I feel like we have to backtrack, you know,
sure.
like I know folks, if they fuck with me, if they're on the channel, they know what's up, you know what I mean? But let's assume this is gonna get 1 billion views from people that might not know, and I want to start from the jump and sort of tell the story, because you guys met before, like. You guys were working together before I met Bobby and everything. Like,
not too long though.
Not
too long.
Right. What's that story?
All right, it basically started through. It's really through Reverie. Is really how the Reverie and Satire is how the dots got connected. I was living in San Diego at the time.
Oh, San Diego.
Yes, as the 1902 Germans.
Wales vagina, I think is the translation.
No, but I was living in San Diego, and Sat was on tour with Reverie, and something happened to where they needed a replacement DJ. So Sat hit me. Long story short, I became the replacement DJ. So.
On the whole tour.
Yeah. And then so basically, and I've known who Reverie was. We actually did a show before. We didn't meet, but I knew who she was just from her fan base and how poppin' she was. And then when Sat told me that, because Bobby was going by Severe at the time.
R.I.P.
Yep. Bobby told me that, or Sat told me that who was on the tour. And so I looked up the Severe shit, and I knew who he was. But basically, the second or third date of the tour is when I was brought on. And I think SF was the show. Yeah. So basically, we drove from LA to SF.
True. You didn't start the tour, huh?
LA to second or third date. LA to SF, we drove, and so the first day I met Reverie was the first day I met Bobby.
Facts.
And so pretty much like straight from that tour. So yeah, I was DJing for Sat and this fool and Reverie. But yeah, it was pretty much like that's how we met. And it was one of those things where it was like. I'm already on tour with Sat, who's Squad forever.
Right.
I know whoever he is. She becomes fam instantly, and it was even quicker with me and this fool. So it was like that's how it really started. Is we went on tour together and linked, and
you was rocking on the tour.
Yeah. So I was on the tour, and Loudon was DJ Loudon was DJing the tour. And Revs hits me like, yo, so I'm thinking of changing the DJ for the tour. And I'm like, okay, yeah, cool. At this point, me and Loudon kind of have like this routine, or not. I hate the word routine, but we already have like this little set that we created. You feel me?
It's kind of clean.
Yeah, and it's cool. He's working, you know. So I'm like, damn, you switching out the DJ. All right, cool. Whatever. She's like, yo, I think you'll like him though. He smoked backwards. I'm like.
Wait, she said that to you?
Yeah, bro.
That's hilarious.
Because by that time, she said something like,
I'm sure
his music is lit. But by that time, the tours before with Reveries, I had already been smoking backwards on the tour. And everybody else on the tour. Yeah, I don't even want to say I put anybody on. But we was all smoking backwards by the end of the tour. You know what I mean?
Converted everybody to the gospel.
So that's kind of how, you know, plus FWA had just dropped when I met Chase. So we was both bumping that, and everybody else was like, "What's FWA?"
Yeah,
like
that's still the most like slept on, underrated album.
Yeah,
Wayne album.
Period.
Yeah,
period. We all like bonded over that album.
Wayne album.
It's amazing.
It like teeters between.
One of my favorite memories is after the tour, like not the tour, but after the shows on the tour, we would all just like well, not all, but me and Chase would just slap the FWA on the PA system or whatever speaker system they had.
When we doing sound check, you'd be like, slap Glory. I'd be like, ow. We'd be like, put on Psycho.
So me and Chase just turning up. Everyone's just like awkwardly either leaving or getting there, and they're like, oh shit, this is turn. And me and Chase are just like,
hilarious.
So
it's like,
I almost walked out in to a battle or for a battle to
what?
To
Glory.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
But instead, I came out to Curtains.
You know what though?
You versus Chilla.
Swear to God, I ain't nervous. Swear to God.
It's really hard to spit bars after Glory.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's I didn't want to get that mind.
It's really hard to wow people after Glory.
Right.
But
not saying that you can't. You're the Weezy.
If anyone questions Wayne's rapping ability, listen to Glory and then fucking talk to me.
Right.
But it's one of those things where it's like, you know how like you can tell right off the bat if you like fuck with somebody and shit. And to me, the ultimate test to if you can be around somebody is if you can travel with them. So the fact that I was able to come onto the tour so easily, and even with Reverie too, because Reverie to this day is fan, and we put out a bunch of music. So it's like you can tell right away if you fuck with people.
When you're spending when you're spending so much time. Yeah. You're living with them in confined spaces with no step out. You can't really step out and do your thing. It's just 24 hours.
You know, to keep it 100, like I had just came out of the biggest car accident in my life that changed my life, changed my music. It changed like everything, bro. Like the way I was thinking, it killed Severe pretty much. That accident, you know, it was so fucking crazy. And I'm at the hospital the day they supposed to pick me up from the tour, you feel me? So I'm at the hospital. They have fucking machines attached to my heart and shit. And straight out the hospital, I get in the fucking car and I go on tour.
He's on your Iron Man shit.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not about to sit here and be sick, bro.
You went straight from the
hospital. I was like, give me a bag of Zans and let's go. And that's exact. As soon as I got in the whip, I'm like, yo, I got Xannies.
Oh, yeah, where did you reference that? You referenced that on Severe, right?
Yeah.
Was it Funeral?
Funeral. But that's another time though. You're saying he's talking about the first time Rams hit me for a tour. That's what you're talking about, right? That's not that tour.
Well, okay.
Oh, the car. You're just talking about the car accident. You're right. The car accident.
I do reference the car accident.
You're right.
And Funeral and the car accident actually have a lot to do with each other, you know. And
like you said, it was like the death of Severe.
Yeah, it fucked me up, bro. Like I was really sick for the whole tour to the point where like I remember I knew Chase was a real motherfucker, bro. We was in some hot ass fucking state. It was hot as shit. It was hot though. It was hot. I think it was like AZ or something. But I don't know.
Tucson.
Tucson. And we had like this. We had
the
like
spot
this.
with the big NPC.
Nah, that vegan spot. Remember?
Oh, then that's the other city in Arizona that we went to.
Yeah, we had this vegan spot, and I finished eating my burrito, and I instantly get an anxiety attack, and I'm like, yo, Chase, I don't have any Zans. He's like, I got my last one. Here you go, bro. With hella days left, bro. And like, I was like, all right, cool. I'll see you guys later. I went, sat in the car, bro. It was like 100 and something degrees, bro. I couldn't be in public, bro. I sat in the car, just passed out. And like, shortly they came in the whip and we left.
I seen he was going through it. And that's how we, you know what I mean? Like, I got you.
Bro, there was but
you need someone like that on tour.
Hey, but Salt Lake City, I was so smacked, bro, because we were so smacked the whole tour. I was so smacked that I was asleep until it was my time to do my set. And then, I don't know who came and woke me, but they're like, yo, Seb, you up? I'm like, okay, cool. I get up. I literally perform with my eyes closed.
Yeah. That's Salt Lake City. That's what I'm thinking about.
I performed the show and walked straight back to the car and fall asleep.
Yeah,
bro.
you only,
but I definitely had nights where I stayed up till like, on this last tour with Bliss and Up till like, right till like a couple hours before a sound check the next day. Fall asleep, wake up, like sound check. I'm like, sound check, go to sleep, wake up. Like, yo, you're on in a little bit. Like, like splash water. Take a couple shots, like wake up.
Bro,
people don't know, but sleep on tour is like
bro,
alkaline water in the desert, bro. Like it's like you better find some.
Sats on the tour too.
It's already aside from the adrenaline of just
you throw a fucking sat in the mix. Nah, but the funny thing is too though, that's like we became hella homies before we even made any music. We became And then, but Sat, he spoke highly of you though, like when he was like, "Oh yeah, the other cat," because I was like, who the fuck else is on this tour? And he was like, "Oh, this cat's Samir, he's dope. I fuck with him." But here's the thing though, is we became homies and toured and shit and did a bunch of music shit, but we didn't make music together until months
or even
after.
Talked about it. We never talked about like, hey, let's link up, like nothing.
Like So like fast forward to like a couple months after that tour,
and then at this point, are you already living here?
No. I'm still in SD.
Okay,
I'm still in SD. And then Rev hits me and she's like, "Yo, I want to come down and work with you because we've been talking about it." And the whole time on tour, we're talking about it. I'm like, "Yeah, both y'all come down." You feel me? Because I already knew what it was. And him and Reverie came down to San Diego, and we made 2 or 3, maybe 4 songs. And Broke too. Shout out Rob Anthony. He was there too. That's the first time I met. Broke
I was still going by Severe.
Still Severe at this point. And then we made a few songs, and that was when it was like, oh, okay.
Oh, also,
all right, we could do it. Like we can make music.
I rocked the fucking Caviar Gold Festival right before I went to this fool's crib with Revs. So I had a box full of 50 Caviar Gold joints. And we smoked all them shits.
Yeah, and
I smoked all of them with this fool.
Yeah, I mean,
to the point where this fool hit me like way later and was like, "Yo, I found Hello Roses. I'm lit, bro."
Yeah, I was like, "There's hella Caviar Gold roaches."
4 blunts.
Yeah, and it was at a time where I didn't have a consistent plug in SD too. Like the dispensary we were fucking with wasn't fucking.
Even then though,
they was fucking with us.
Caviar Gold roaches are on a different level though. They're great.
But it was like, but to me, just to bring it back full circle, like. That type of foundation is what made me and this fool's like musical relationship so strong. Is because it's like, oh, okay, that's my brother, and we already traveled the country together. Right. And we already did hella life shit, had wild stories, and just fun. And before we even thought about making a song, you feel me? Yeah. So the second I moved to LA, it's like, oh, like I know this fool is about to move here, or were you already here?
Nah.
But you was finna. You was already back and forth. Okay.
Yes,
so I was like, okay, I already know Ilmax fucking finna be out here.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You was going back and forth.
Yeah, he was already here. So literally, it was like, it was like,
I would bounce from SD up to here.
Facts.
And
so literally, I was like,
making dumbass.
I like hit Ilmax.
I remember too when I first met you, you was like,
deadass.
Going everywhere.
No,
I'm
deadass.
Like,
as soon as I knew I moved, I hit Ill before I moved. Like, oh yeah, I'm moving. Okay, he knows. As soon as I got here, I was like, oh fuck. All right, I hit up Sat, and then I hit Bobby. I was like, yo, I'm here. Like, it's like, I'm here, bro. I'm in the valley. Because I knew this fool be in the valley and NoHo and shit. So I'm like, I'm here, bro. And he was like, what? I was like, I live here now. So I'll be right there.
Yeah, I'll be there in 10 minutes.
That's how it works.
Bro, I was literally on, oh, they won't know the streets, but I was like,
they will.
like 10 blocks away.
From here?
Yeah, passed out, high as shit on weed.
On weed.
Yo, I seen this for calling, and I was too high. I just passed out. I was just like, fell asleep, right? We're just having a session. We're recording that crazy.
I live here.
Yeah, I call him back. I'm like, hello? Because we cool and shit, but even when I went to SD, we made like a song where I spit a verse, you know, and he spits one verse. Reverie spit one verse, you know, like, which no one ever even heard that song, you feel me? So,
I've never heard that.
So we didn't even really make music. We was just
chilling,
bro.
Right.
At that point, I think Rev's intentions were to go make a record.
Yeah.
You know? And she was just like, yo, roll with me.
We were smoking hella woods.
Yeah.
We were smoking so much.
And then
so many side stories.
So it wasn't very long before you hit it, hit them.
It was the second day I moved.
Because I remember it was like I was always missing. Because when I was going back and forth, I was back and forth like every month. I was never here
when you came.
Yeah, like but I would always hear your music. Yeah. This fool would be like, oh, peep this joint that I made with Bobby, and I'm like, Bobby, I'm like, who? Like, does this fool exist? Like, is this Tony Clifton?
But what if it's just Chase though?
Yeah.
But even right now, it's like Tony Clifton and
I'm like on some Legion. I'm like projecting fucking different.
It's the ultimate puppeteering, bro.
But nah, bro, that's really
what I'm Chase.
What if? What if?
Nah, but think about right. It was literally just like the second that I got blessed with this opportunity in LA. It was like literally just like
you just started putting people on, and
it's not even that. It's like let me hit. I was like, I'm gonna hit. I know Ill's coming. I hit Sat, and then it's like I'm hitting Bobby because I already knew we was finna do a body of work and then some. So that's pretty much what sparked all of it.
Even pretty much too.
That's what sparked. That's what led up to the spark of all of this shit we're doing.
All the connection.
Yeah, that's how it came together.
Hey, you could come through over here and sit on the chair over here.
That's who pulled up? I thought it was Lushing out. What's up, buddy?
You can come through. It's all good. We're filming, but it's tight. Like, you can get on the chair over here if you want to
fuck you. Either Avo or Clayton. It's probably Clayton because Avo's probably doing smack in the
Hey, Carney, can you bring me a
just joking. We love y'all.
Can you bring me a grinder? I've been.
Hey, I'm a rider for life. I'm finna get the rider tag. Hey.
Shout out to homie Carney in the building. Always coming here.
You got that 667 cognac?
You can go past me. Yeah, it's the new merch we're dropping. Is the 667 cognac. All right, what up, chat? You know, take a second. Look who's gay. Ruin your day. That's definitely a drunk Avo.
Yeah,
that's a drunk Avo.
Hey, shout out Avo. Whatever you did to my computer, I don't even know.
You got
but it worked better.
He don't even refer to himself as Avo. Man, that's fucked up, bro. You should definitely refer to.
Who the fuck is Kyle?
Put Avo on your fucking ID. You feel me?
Yeah, it's Kyle.
Yeah, he said.
Hey, I'm gonna answer your question. AAC, you're just situated. Yep, a little grind easy.
Yeah, I've been grinding.
Hey, but this angle sucks. But we got a lit ass angle.
You feel me?
From the
Clean
good
boys.
camera behind us.
Yeah, we're filming. Here, let's see if we can move it. Hold on. Get a little bit more in.
Hey, y'all like how I'm hiding this fucking weed with the jar though? With the weed jar that you can't see through.
6-6. Now we got a 7 to it. Avo, I don't fucking like the 49ers. I'm just wearing the hat, bro. I really fuck with the Raiders, to be real. And it's kind of blasphemy for me to be wearing this hat. But my point is, hold on. My point is, there's nothing wrong with any team. My point is,
base shit. Hold on.
My point is, yeah, facts. NorCal all day. That absolutely is a factor. But I am not a football fan. I'm an NBA fan strictly. So if I'm wearing any NBA team I'm wearing, I'm a fan of. Besides that, it's fair game because of the colors.
And I just fucked up the grind.
And it don't even gotta be the colors. I might just fuck with the logo. You feel me? But yeah, I don't fuck with the Niners like that. They're not my team or nothing. If anything, I have 2 teams, and that's Chicago Bulls and the fucking Sacramento Kings. That's.
Is that better?
You got like 3 teams. Yeah, that's way better.
Facts.
This is just a little shaky, baby. Woo. All right.
I feel like maybe turn off the lights behind me.
Hey, but yeah, bro, I don't.
But that might affect that.
I fuck with classic basketball. That's what I fuck with. NBA basketball is the fucking most exciting sport to watch. Fuck out of here. Yes, I'm a Kings fan. Fuck yes, I'm a Kings fan. Hey, shout out to the Blazers though. I see y'all. Blazers are my 3rd favorite team.
Hey, but professionals.
I be coming with Blazers gear. You feel me? I'll come through with the Blazers gear.
Hey, hip hop is life.
Hey, someone said Kyle, on the laptop. Give Ilmac
but we got a different cam set up for the video. But yo, truth be told, professional sports is just the Roman Coliseum, fam. It's a distraction meant to instill you know what I'm saying, divide and conquer mentality. It's meant to divide us. It's to beat out. No, it's meant to beat out
that low-key sound like some Rick and Morty.
Hey, but it's real shit though. It's actually it's meant to instill hegemony, patriotism, and all that.
So I almost said I'm about to go cocaine with Smack.
Look. Yeah, that's hilarious.
Hey, I will for sure do some coke with you and Smack, bro.
Also, yo, you ever been to a pro sports game and they're like throwing like tacos into like coupons for like t-shirts and like throwing in the Roman Coliseum days, bro. They built the Roman Coliseum.
Don't tell me that's what that's from.
They used to throw bread into the crowd.
That's where that
so that's where that shit is coming. They're shooting shirts and people are like, I need the chalupa. I need the 30-cent chalupa. But it's like the way Caesar used to appease the peasants because there were so many uprisings and shit. It was meant to distract them.
God damn,
really? That's the real shit. Is that what you think?
That's real shit about the Coliseum.
You're going crazy.
But I'm relating it to pro sports because it's the same shit. Or sports in general.
Back to...
Alright. So okay, yeah, we went a little off the rails, but it's good shit. I actually wanted to talk about the space, because I feel like that's when we had already made clay pigeons and stuff, you know, and we had been working like since fucking 09. No, you know, MySpace. It's
before that. It's
06. I just remember it was MySpace. Check, right, exactly.
I got first beat came out is on song Thoroughbred.
Yeah.
Thoroughbred. Yeah, first joint we did it together.
And then we had a song with Mr. Fab that
was
lost for it, but never came out. But
the other Fab record
that might have been the
you have with Fab, not the one that
I
have.
That might have been the first beat I got.
Thoroughbred was the first beat, but yeah.
Side note though, anyways MySpace days.
Yes,
free Justin Timberlake MySpace. We were working. I was coming down, fucking with you in SAG.
Yep.
Whoop-de-whoop. Fast forward. I was coming down, working with you in SD a lot.
Yep.
And that's where the bulk of Clay Pigeons came from.
And the foundation for Only an Ill was all done there.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, like since 09 and on, at that point, we were bros. You feel me, squad. But it was the same thing where it was like I hit you. Like, yo, I'm finna do this move to LA. I knew you was finna do it too. And it's like, I remember us even saying the second that it's lined up, like, let's fucking go. You feel me?
Yeah.
And that's when we did Oscar nominee and a few other records in those first sessions that we ever did in LA.
Skeleton is still standing, basically.
But that all just interconnects with this because that's how because if you really look at it, Still Standing is kind of the first, because that's before Levels, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's like right before. Like
that's
2 months.
Levels. Yeah. It was like, I'm going to drop a solo project. I'm like, I should drop a solo project.
Yo, do you remember? So I remember the first time we met, actually, and it was at this spot.
Geeking.
And,
really? What was the song created?
I was like, oh shit.
Nah, we just played hella shit.
I was going to be like, what song? What song?
But like, you came through with the squad. Like, it was like, Two Head, Broke, Rob Anthony, somebody else, and maybe Praise, maybe.
Yeah, probably Praise.
Like, you were
Praise was coming through,
like squatted up.
Praise was coming through in those early sessions.
The first time we met,
shout out Praise.
And we both like just is like on
every time, baby.
It was like on some past the aux chord shit. Where we're just playing hella shit back and forth and vibing and just getting drunk. Yeah. We had like a bottle.
Henny.
Yeah. Liz Henny, I remember.
So wait, had me and you done songs here at this point?
Yeah, because I had been back and forth for like a couple months. Because what I was doing was coming down to LA for like a month at a time. And I would bounce down, fuck with you in SD, and boom, boom. And then when you moved here, it was just more of the same.
Right.
And I wasn't catching him at first. It was
probably
always
within
like,
the first like month or two.
First month. I was still trying to get my shit together, my life
together. First month or two, probably. Probably first month or two.
Yeah. And
like
eventually.
Early 2016.
Yeah. Eventually.
We're talking about early 2016.
Yeah.
Right? Early 2016.
Yeah, it seemed like yesterday to me.
And then.
I don't know if it's like that to y'all. I feel like my first record.
It actually seems like a century, which is lit because it's only been a few years. But yeah, so.
So, and it was the space that we all lived to.
You know what though? It was a similar thing though to the way that I'm saying, and he's saying about how we just click like that. It was the same thing with y'all.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like it was really similar because it was one of those things too where it's like, oh yeah, yep, this all fits and belongs.
Well, also it's like it's like. Alright, it's like when you put for example, I'm gonna talk about myself for a little bit. When you put me
talk to him.
When you put me in a room full of people who I feel like aren't better than me, not to say that I'm better than anybody, but as far as where I am in my life musically, you know, just feel like they could be better than me and show me something. I hadn't really been in an environment where I was like, oh shit, I'm learning again. Like, fuck. Even if it was just the way people was recording or the layers people had, like, I was constantly learning, you know? So, like, when, like, meeting you or, like, being in a room with you and, like, working with you was kind of different because I was, like, keeping up the whole time as of, not that I wasn't keeping up other times, but I was just doing my thing other times and it was good enough.
Mm-hmm.
And, soon as I came to this studio, I had to forget everything I learned. And like relearn this like real way of music.
Nah, that's 100. That's 100% the same way I felt though.
Because I wasn't, you know.
And not to get on some like fucking riding like jack off session. Like we're so good. But no, real shit though. Like I swear to God, it was the same thing. Because when I think we all offset different strengths. You know what I mean? And so I felt the same exact way. Like when we were playing songs back and forth, even before we even started working. when it was just on first, I was like, oh. Damn, like I don't know what I can play after hearing that song.
Plus,
like,
I mean,
my
like,
shit's over here, you know what I mean? And then it was like a common grunt, like
which it probably wasn't that many records too.
But you had that album with Praise.
Yeah, and I did two on it. But there was lately, and there was a song or two it broke, and there was maybe one or two other songs, and I almost feel like Oscar nominee in that first batch that we did, which I think was February of 2016, if I recall correctly. Yeah. It was pretty much like the first month or two we was both doing our separate batches.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
then it was like, wait, this is a squad for life.
Here's a factoid that's funny, and it's a little ironic. It's ironic. Is that our first song that we ever did was when you weren't here over a Smoke beat.
Like, the one that got sold.
Wait,
hold on. Was this when I went on tour?
Yeah.
And then I remember y'all was hitting me, and I'm explaining the template settings over the phone. Like, nah, you gotta go. That's right.
I hit you like
hold on.
times.
I forgot about that. That's
really
actually an integral part of the story because a lot of the hunger built up from that.
Because
what happened was,
I looked at him. I'm like, we'll figure this shit out, bro.
That's right. Okay.
So shit you see
just
behind us.
Just to add a quick fact to lead up to that
tour and everything
is we started this fucking body of work and this whole thing for about a month, and then I went on tour for 2 months. I was on the road for 64 days straight.
Yeah.
Between the fucking Satire and Cap Callis tour and the Hippie Sabotage tour. I was
with only like less than a week in between, right? It was only a couple days. It
wasn't even. It was 2 days.
2 days.
And literally the one day that I had in between those tours, I booked a hotel in Salt Lake City early before the hippies got there, and I slept for a day. That's how crazy it was. It was like I'm literally booking this hotel just to sleep for a day. You feel me? But it was crazy, dude. This actually, I didn't realize how much impact this had on everything until looking back at it now. But we started the lab and started to make hella shit, and then I went on the road. So it was one, and I remember it was when because at first I was living in the other unit, and I didn't have. It was like early, at least within the first month of me having the shit in here, and Oscar nominee and all that shit we talking about. And I remember I leave for 2 months, and the whole time on the road, I'm like, I have this whole new studio set up. Because I didn't make any music on the road. I can't make music on the road.
I can't either.
I can't. I never can. I don't give a fuck.
I
don't give a fuck. Unless someone's like, you have this nice luxurious lab booked out for 2 days. I can't write music on the. I can't make beats on the fucking road.
Before we were here, I would record on tour. I'd be like, cause first of all, I'd be like, fuck everybody. Not that way, but like, fuck everybody. I ain't trying to like socialize like that.
Right.
They asleep. I'm gonna stay up, set my shit up, and record. You know? But now like we have luxuries that make me not have to do that. You know?
Right.
Which is not crazy luxuries, but it's just like a life. You feel me? A studio.
And just not to derail too far from the point. The point I'm making is there was a 2-month gap between the inception of all this shit until we really started going in. Which I remember I'd be talking to y'all on the road. When you can't wait to come and or that too, but because y'all linked and fucking and building y'all shit. But remember
how we linked.
No, but what I'm saying is, remember I'm hitting motherfuckers saying, "Oh my god, bro, I can't wait to get back." You're like, "Bro, hurry the fuck up." That's really what I'm saying.
We ended up having another,
and that's how y'all.
Because this fool was like, he left you the keys to come in. And then he was like, yo, Bobby's about to go over there.
Baby.
And I don't know if we had each other's numbers or what, but that's probably when I was like, let me holler.
I couldn't figure it out.
We did a couple songs over Smoke Beats.
I didn't record
Shout out
anything.
Smoke, incredible producer.
But we did like the first joint, and it was over a Smoke Beat, which is actually an amazing song that I'm going to resurrect.
Whoever bought that beat, I'm going to buy them.
Just tell Smoke to mute the sound.
Not the beat. I'm going to buy them.
Actually, I might know what beat yours might go to. But anyways, we make a song with Praise, like the Praise singing the hook, I think. Or was,
he was on it. Praise
but
on it.
you called a different engineer to come and engineer the session.
Shout out
Caesar. And goofy motherfucker.
But,
hey, That fool was geek.
That's
the
first time.
That's bro. He was geek to me, L-Mac, for sure.
First time we ever did a song.
He was geeking on y'all.
Hey, but I fuck with that fool. He was good
because he knew who y'all were. See, I knew who L-Mac was because I knew who. When you win competitions at the age this was winning,
about the scribbles.
Everybody hears that shit. You feel me?
Yeah.
And
the world rap.
Go on.
Yeah. You feel me? Everybody hears about that shit. Even for that don't give a fuck. Like
right. And hip hop, but with hip hop, it made it.
So when I met this fuck, I was geeking because I was like, damn, this one can spit. Like I can't do what he can do. That's why I was geeking. I wasn't geeking like, oh my god, he's famous. Like
fuck this fool's tight. Like
But then I watched some of the other homies geek out on y'all and be like, oh my god, like Chase Moore, what the fuck? Or like L-Mac, like, and that shit was crazy as fuck for me to watch because,
I didn't notice it. I didn't notice that fool like geeking out or whatever. Maybe
because
it was just
he's
like
hella,
when I wasn't there, he seemed super chill.
Man, he wasn't geeking like that.
That wasn't nothing crazy like that, but
he was just telling you that he fuck with you.
He said it. He's like, dude, I'm a fucking huge fucking.
Or maybe I'm just so used to that. You feel me? That it just.
He's also an engineer.
We don't gotta fuck anyway. Shout out that fool though, he is a good engineer. And shout out Caesar.
He like gonna geek out, but like he gonna be an engineer. You feel me? Right. And he got the job done. That shit sounded amazing.
No,
I wish y'all could hear it.
I looked at. That's what I'm saying. I looked at the session. Anyway,
we gonna make it happen. Yeah. We gonna put that up.
So that's crazy. To put it in context, like basically, boom, tour happens randomly. You go DJ. Meet Bobby out on who's just on the tour independently of that with Revs, and then you make your way obviously from SAC first, from Australia to SAC to SD, and that's where we were really banging out a lot of shit. Yep. And then
because I was living in SD when we were doing,
and we even record some of Clay Pigeons in SAC. But point being though, boom. Then it comes here. LA. Then it comes to LA.
We link.
You reconnect.
Then I go on tour again.
Just by natural, we connect. It kind of creates this little cipher. You leave tour. Me and Bobby kind of get in the studio, make a couple songs, and then from there, levels. Yeah. So this is where I feel like y'all kind of like gained the momentum. Yeah. We all kind of working together.
It's at the same time as Still Standing. Yeah.
We that only dropped like a month or two before.
There's records. We had like there is records on both of those albums that were considered for Still Standing and Levels. Like you know what I'm saying? There's
if y'all watching us right now.
Crucify is a sequel to Angels. If you don't know.
Yeah, if you don't know.
Pay attention to the fine print.
Crucify on my shit.
And that's what you was going to say, huh?
Yeah, Angels on his shit. You feel me? Nah, but for real, Still Standing was made at the same time as Levels. Levels, I didn't even have Levels made.
Right.
We're
just making joints.
This fool just had everything because
first 3 months was just
he just had everything solved, bro. All his problems solved, ready to drop shit. And I was like,
when I first moved here, so I was just ready to go.
Yeah.
Like,
so I was like,
and I was living here.
I was like
couch surfing.
I wasn't ready to go,
but it wasn't project mode. It was just song mode at first. So we probably did 20 or 20.
Yeah.
Before it was project.
So, but it was made at the same time, and L-Mac being like, yo, I'm gonna drop this album called Still Standing. I'm like, damn, that shit's tight as fuck. I wish I had a project.
On that project.
Yeah,
4 songs.
You feel me? I was like, damn, I should drop something, huh? That shit'll make. And that's really what started. Like 667 started a long time ago, but that's really what started the 667 music movement right there. Is like
the music.
It's Still Standing, Levels, and Swear-O-Matic, which y'all are gonna hear later.
All before the year's out.
Yeah, that's really where.
So, okay, can we tangent off for a second then? Since you brought that up, actually, origin of 667, I feel like people are like starting to catch on to that shit. You know what I mean? And it's becoming a thing now. I see fans tweeting, I see the bios and shit.
You see the tattoo.
Yeah. I just seen that today. Somebody got the logo tatted.
You know it's real when they get the 667 tatted.
Like what's 667? Obviously I know, but I'm taking the journalist. Well, like if someone wasn't to know what is journalistical, journalisticism.
The journalistical approach.
Yeah. So what is give what is 667? So, break that down. Where it started, what it means.
I ain't really told the story this way. I've been waiting.
It's the perfect time, baby.
Shit, but so 667 a long time ago, I used to rap as Severe, and I used to have this crew called Crooked Teeth, and for a long time it was just me, my little homies, which are not the homies. You feel me? Grew up and shit, and we had that for a long time, bro. And then one day, Two Head, which if y'all don't know who he is, 667 something, look him up.
Jim Morris. Either look up Morrison or 667.
He changes shit all the time.
667 hate me now.
That's what it is.
Type in 667, he'll pop up. It's pretty much.
Yeah.
And this fool was, he's always been a genius, bro. Like for like marketing or like logos or clothing or ideas like that. Even videos, bro. He's such a genius, man, and
a great energy to be around.
Yeah,
it's always just positive.
Infectious.
Like, sometimes a little too much, but I love that. Like I grew up with him.
Taught it, bro.
Yeah, you feel me? So that's one of my like real homies, and he had came up with 1990X a long time ago, and if y'all seen a video a long time ago where he was in it, he was actually rocking one of the hats, and people want to talk shit, I'll go take a screenshot, bring it back, but the video's private now. But anyway, so Two Head.
I like that, like hypothetical. Like, yo, if you hypothetically talk shit, like anyways, moving on. Like, I love that approach.
Anyway,
yeah.
But anyway, so my homie Two Head, which is a creative genius, was trying to start this company, this clothing brand called 667 Dioses, and which ended up becoming 667.
But
it was Dioses first, though, yeah?
Yeah, it was 667.
And that translates to water, right?
God, yeah, water god.
Oh, it's the same thing.
Alkaline.
Yeah, translates
but
to
hold
gods,
on. It was Dioses by itself first, or 667? What was the original title?
It was 667 Dioses. You feel me? And Two Head got that Dioses tatted big as fuck on his left knee with 667 around it. And we started that shit. Well, he started that shit, and I just seen him. He had a lot to go through. And he's a fucking genius, like I said. So a genius you gotta give him a space. So I let him do his thing, and for a long time, he was killing that shit. But somehow, some way, within him creating 667 Dioses and Crooked Teeth being the thing that we were all a part of, it just melted. And some people stayed, some people left. You feel me? And like,
and broke at this time. Rob Anthony, he's just right there
the whole time, right?
He's going by
essentially kind of you three, and
it's just like us three at the point.
Right.
Is Chef in it yet, or at that time, or no?
Yeah, Chef always been.
Yeah, right. Of course.
Chef's just omnipresent.
Yeah.
He just saw it. Like,
but yeah. So that's really where 667 came from. It came from Two Head, and the cold version of 667 came from Crooked Teeth. And we killed Crooked Teeth off, and we started 667 Cold. And
there's basically a time where you were like, "Yo, I'm finna."
Yeah, I was like, "Yo, bro, I have this vision, and if you give me your blessings, bro, I'll take 667, and let me do something with it, bro, because this is an amazing idea." And he was like, "Yeah, bro, you already know."
When did you get the first 667 tag? Because I remember when you got the second one the second one was on the knee, right?
One above the devil,
I
baby.
I remember specifically when you got that, because you were like, like sore, you know what I mean? But when did you? I don't remember you getting the first one.
667 on my stomach, bro.
Oh,
right here.
I do remember.
Right here. Yeah, that shit hurt like a bitch.
Yeah,
I can't even remember what day it was or anything.
But we were already. That's right.
And hold on, I don't want to derail too much, but the transition exactly the transition of Dioses to the actual meaning of one above the devil.
Right. That's the other. That's a good question. What is the meaning of 667 and God's?
Right. So it went from talk about the transition from and the definition of the name.
That's what we at this point. At this point, Two Head's like, okay, here you go, bro, and I'm like, all right. But he's always been the CEO of this shit. He's always been the top head of this shit.
Street CEO.
Yeah.
He's the street CEO
he's the dude,
of 667.
Like, people don't know, but he's the dude. Yeah. like I said, he's just one of my young homies, and he's gonna grow up to be a fucking even bigger genius. Bro.
He's the Illuminati link in the chain.
We love
so 667. You feel me? It's like one number above the devil's number. You feel me?
Was it a conversation or was it? What was the moment? What's the initial moment?
I honestly don't remember the actual moment of when 667 went above the devil, but I do remember.
I bet you it came from a rap line.
I do remember it was just some dumbass shit, bro. We was just drunk as fuck or something, and it just got blurted out. You know, like it was like one of those moments, and
one of them truth moments that just come back to fruition later.
Bro, and this cold shit been cold shit since the beginning. Like we used to tell people we going to mass. And we going to the studio to turn the fuck up, like on some
church.
Shit. So we going to church.
But there's a moment that happened where it's like, oh, God's one above the devil, 667, and like that became God's the definition of it.
Yeah, honestly, like we became the definition of it because like I met y'all on some crazy shit. Like I met y'all, Two Head, Rob Anthony, everybody still being around.
They was there at the start, though. They was there at the start of all of us. They were there in those first. They were there at almost. You feel me? Like.
So it just kind of like. It's crazy because we became. Not saying we got.
We 2 head on them too. Talking that shit. Hold up. Look at the weed.
Hey, look at the wood though.
I did. Okay, you might not know what we're laughing about, but that's the funniest thing is that Two Head, like he's been on outros,
my best friend.
And he's like one of the dudes you just put the mic on and be like, "Hey yo," but yeah, look at the weed. Look at the wind. Look at him, like, and just tangent off.
We don't redo it. He don't redo it.
Like, I need an intro and outro.
He's on
put the mic
big
on.
Body
and like, Two Head talk some shit.
Yeah, for real.
And then
you just record Two Head talking some shit, you gonna get a fucking gem in there.
Two Head's the greatest, man.
Yeah.
And like,
so
that's where it all stems from.
Yeah, that's how it all happened, man.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. To define the initial
I met y'all,
question.
you feel me, and we all started really like making this shit a music thing. It wasn't really a music thing, but it was on its way to become that, you know? So, like, I met y'all, and it became like, damn, we really out here, and I don't know anybody that can write better than you. I don't know anybody that sounds better than anybody else around us at this point, you feel me? And I'm just like, fuck, bro. Like,
there was a thing where but like, in between that, like, I feel like that kind of progression was just recently, whereas when we first were really clicking up, like, as far as making songs was like a year and change ago.
Yeah.
So, like,
remember
and I
when
want to get into
like,
this about your history a little bit too, but like, so the commonality is when we're clicking up, you're on 4 songs on my project, I'm on your project, sprinkling a couple times, but then like we're both very like we're not like as much as we work together, we're in the studio every day. We're like we're not a rap group. We ain't no group. We're solo artists, and we're just against being in a group. Because I came from saying people.
I came from
I know.
And it was both large collectives, and I love them to the death. But we're like this is a different phase.
Which separately,
of artistic,
on a high note, and Sam people both. It's a heavy movement.
Which the grounds,
you know what I'm saying? that's heavy movement. Because let's not undermine that because we're talking about hundreds of thousands of followers, millions of views type shit between. You know what I'm saying?
What's the grounds are different. It's like
667 ain't a rap group either.
It's not.
That's
it's a cult.
It's a cult. It's a movement.
It's a cult.
It's
with a K.
It's who we are. Like when people ask me, like, "What are you doing?" I'm branding.
You get one of them brews, Carney.
I'm creating
shout out Carney,
brand,
by the way.
You feel me? Like I want people to be like 667 and think of us. You feel me? I want them to think of 666 and think of 667 and be like, fuck 666.
Yeah.
You know, because
who wants to write that anyway?
At the same time,
667 just looks bad.
Yeah, I feel like at the same time, I feel like the culture of music has kind of always been like drifting towards this dark side of shit, and I'm like, it's not about all that shit. I feel you. It's about expressing yourself. However the fuck y'all do it, I love y'all for doing it. But
that's a really cool meaning though in origin. Because that's why I'm so gravitated towards. Obviously, we're family and cult, but to me, it's like that. Just the one above the devil tagline.
That's what I get.
And not to undermine it, but that's the shit. Like
because 7 is a God number too. 7 is a number of God. So it's like polarity.
Angelic numbers.
Yin, yeah, exactly. It's yin and yang.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's that's what I took it as. Like originally, I was just kind of like, oh, that's you and the other homies.
Yeah.
You know, and I didn't even like think about what does that mean.
I remember having conversations with you where I was like, damn, you have your like brand and shit, and you got like, damn, like fuck, bro, I need to do something. Like, I think 667 is like, I remember having talks about 667 before it became what it is right now. And with both of y'all.
Yeah, and we were having parallel talks because I remember having a conversation where I'm like, we got to name the studio or like, because I don't want to have a rap group, but there's something here. I'm like, even if we just name the studio to where we could put out a compilation.
Which now that you say that, you're like, oh shit, it named itself. I remember you saying that the other day.
Because I didn't realize it, and then I was like, one day I was like, yo, this is crazy. And I was like, yo.
The difference between, and I don't know about y'all.
I invented you.
Did I?
Yo, the difference between like where the other places I've made, the other groups I've made music in on a high note, you know, Crooked Teeth and all that is like, not that but 667 created an energy around a studio where these artists are going to make their music. I didn't go out there and find you. I didn't go out there and find you.
No.
I didn't go out there and find fucking Lush, you know, like y'all
like,
just
hey, make a beat for me. I'm like, hey, bro, would you rap on one of my beats? Like, No, it's like, well, hold up.
Yeah, y'all just came
We're
to the
homies.
lab.
Oh, now we can make music.
And it felt like it was
the
your
universe
home
was
too,
in the kitchen whipping with a flick of the
Woo!
wrist. The universe is like,
hitting us with that
put
work.
The universe is like a little Bobby, a little.
Well, the thing that happened was
like,
everybody's strengths and weaknesses complemented each other,
yeah.
and it was one of those things where it was like the second it happened, it sparked all this shit.
You know, and honestly, like watching Sat.
That's a history.
Watching Sat
and
push
Sat,
LSD.
Sat too. Sat was here.
I met Sat on the
Sat was here here too. You feel me? Fact.
Yeah, watching him push
667
LSD was like, oh shit, like I can like really, because I've had people tell me I've never really put out merch. I put out my Bobby Bucher hat. But I've never really put out merch like that. Because
is that still available?
Nah, sold out.
Limited?
Yeah.
You got some new merch coming?
Yeah. Hella 2018.
At what site?
667 Cult with a K.
667 KULT.
But yeah, that's like, bro, watching the homies push the shit. Reverie pushed the fucking Reverie line and shit. And me just watching my homies. Watching my homies work. I'm like, damn, I'm working.
Rev and Sat are the catalyst to all of this.
Yeah. I'm working, you know what I mean? But it's like, am I really working as hard as them? You know? So it made me like,
you need that in your little outside circle to be
I don't
like,
know.
I need to be set for I need to, you know, get in there.
I don't know where I'd be if I wasn't surrounded with hardworking people.
For sure.
Because it definitely feeds onto like what I want to do, you know? Like, and just watching people be able to just travel the world, see the world, fucking make music with all these crazy artists and just have a great time the whole time pushes me, you know, to do it too. You feel me? And Bobby Bucher is that. Bobby Bucher is severe with all the mistakes. You know, I made a lot of mistakes as severe, musically, professionally, even on stage, bro. Like I used to not even remember my shit and just like freestyle, just because freestyling was funner to me and I didn't give a fuck. You know, like.
I definitely did that a lot.
Yeah, you know,
especially
Bobby Bucher is definitely
shit
like,
I know that verse. I'm not even my shit.
The funniest ongoing joke, me and the homie Kelsey's, who let me just credit on the record right now for coining the phrase "yickin'" is Kelsey's from Sacramento, from motherfucking East Sacramento. But just real quick, our ongoing joke was, and everyone's done this.
Hold up, Seth, got magnesium chloride in it.
Hey, you could pull it up on your shit too.
Game now.
I just pulled one up.
Kelsey is the fool who founded Yickin'. Told me that the ultimate thing that happens to every rapper ever is, like we're saying, the fuck up and you freestyle, but you do it about something there. So our ongoing joke was, here's the ongoing joke. Oh, I forget, and it gets worse. Shout out to homie in the red shirt. so we would always. So we would always be like, Shout out to homie in the red shirt. Like, that would always be the ongoing. Like, that was the phrase for that. But everyone's done that, though, right? Yeah. Forgot the verse. And again.
Nah, hey, my worst show ever, my worst performance I ever did, I can pinpoint. And it was at a show in Salem. Salem, Oregon.
Shout out to the Crucible. Shout out to the Crucible.
Hey, to me,
Proctor and all that.
Oregon, I don't want to say anything
too
crazy,
to you sometimes,
but I've always made the joke.
He ain't from Salem, though.
I know, but
Portland,
like,
right?
From
no,
Oregon,
yeah, but put it this way: it was the promoter. It was the
bunch of fucking hippies.
True. It was well now it's hipsters. It's front. Hey, it's frontin' ass hippies. It's fake hippies. Yeah. But listen,
they're the fucking worst.
Yeah.
Oh, he did it.
But listen to this though. It's the homies, bro. I'm going to be quick.
No,
I want to get back to
honestly, we going off the shit.
So look,
baby.
this it was the promoter's birthday, and me and DJ Fat Boy is DJing my set. Me and him go and get 40s
Boy or
DJ Fat Boy. No, this is when he was still. He
Fat
actually
boy.
wasn't
Fat
boy, but he was Hefty Boy.
Fat
he
Boy
was
putting out work, but that's inspirational.
Now it's DJ Buff Boy. But
for real.
But look, so we drink 40s of Old English before the show, and I'm like, I know all this shit. I don't give a fuck. And then we go in, and the bartender's like, free AMF, and I'm like, fuck it, drink an AMF. And I'm like, I'm still, 40. And then after the 40, and I'm still cool though. Then they're passing around.
I don't drink 40.
They're drinking. Well,
not anymore.
I don't either. This is
what year is
this? I drink 40s.
This is probably
roughly,
if I had
to
guess. If I had to guess, I would say 2011.
Oh, I'm off.
10 maybe.
Okay.
10, 11.
So mid.
I was 21.
Is that kind of mid 2000?
Maybe even 12. It was right.
Okay.
No, it was before Skrill Talk came out.
Okay.
2010.
Sure.
So look. Then when I'm in the crowd, bruh, they're giving out little like bottles of champagne to everybody, like coming around with platters, and I'm like, yo, I'm the hell.
What?
It's a hella small ass thing. I'm like, fuck it. It's free. Anyways,
I got this.
Easy to predict. I go on stage,
smack the shit,
smack this fuck, and I literally couldn't remember one entire verse.
Yo.
You would get like 2 bars out of me for every single song. I would freestyle and shout out the same people that I did.
The homie in the red shirt?
Yeah. But
so you was the homie in the red shirt every
verse. But so I was just cut songs after one verse.
You might have even said homie in the red shirt. For real, you might have, right?
Yeah, but I definitely hit like, jaw broken. Shout out to Law Spoken.
Shit.
Something on the curb, my man Verbs.
You phony, son. My boy
worked,
only one.
It worked for the first time.
You did every song?
Every song I did it and tried to freestyle in a different way, and it's my worst performance I ever did. And I was the headliner for a homie's birthday party that was packed.
At least
it was in a small venue. It was like 50 people. Everyone was faded. But it's the worst shit ever. Worst shit ever.
Vegas, bro. For me, I was fucked up. And I got a text message that was fucked up. As I'm grabbing the microphone, my dumb ass feels it, looks at the phone, and it's like, and I'm fucked up, bro. It's Las Vegas. And so Las Vegas. So I'm fucking fucked up, bro. I grabbed the mic off the fucking speaker, falls. Grab that shit, you feel me? I'm just like trying to catch up to my shit, but I'm like 4 seconds off. 4
and
seconds.
You're like trying.
Yeah, and I'm like, you know what? Put the mic back and I dip, bro.
Hey, we were talking about that in battles about that being the best thing
Vegas,
show.
Yeah.
It's like, all right,
just please. Yo.
So
I didn't even get a chance to joke.
Dipped.
Like I didn't even spit anything.
And that's it.
I put the mic back. I dipped.
You didn't come back or anything. That was it. That's it.
Never.
That is.
Didn't come back at all. I left, bro.
It's terrifying, bro.
Fuck that. Went to go see Vegas.
Bro.
You feel me?
Is that? Do you think that's your work? That's your worst shit?
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
How did you do in Vegas? Was there any redemption? Did you make some money?
Hell no.
Let me tell you my worst joke story.
I fucking tripped out the whole time. I was on drugs.
Okay, so the whole night was an L.
What kind of drugs?
Right? The whole night was an L. There was no redemption. There's no redemption that night, right? The whole night was an L, right?
Yeah.
It was
my
all
worst
L.
choke.
All L.
My worst choke is hilarious.
All L.
My worst choke ever.
Last time I took
is in front of. It was actually when I was doing shows in Sacramento. Wait, are you telling me the white?
No.
I just felt like this one gave me that look like.
No,
hey,
I'm
dying right now.
I just had. I felt like I had to erase.
And that's some real shit, though.
So I'll be quick
happy
about this too. So I have a show in Sacramento, and this is at the time in Sacramento when I'm very active. Between 06 and 09, I don't know what year when this happened, but I was very active, and I had a show at this venue, and I showed up to the show to perform. It basically sold out, but it got pushed back like a few hours. So I show up to the show, cool, and there's for sure
hours?
bare minimum.
What's a few hours?
2 hours.
Okay.
Bare minimum, there's
not
bare minimum. There's 100 people there already.
Was there people performing though, or was it just dead for 2 hours?
The DJ spinning. It wasn't no
for
music,
2 hours?
but it was something happened. Something got pushed back.
Hey, shout out to the DJ.
Something happened. I forget what it was. It was a legitimate reason. And so I show up ready to perform hella deep with the squad. And my homegirl, who I'm kicking it with at the time, was like, all right, we'll just go to my house and party. And she lived right there and we'll just come back. So I was like, okay, cool. And I had hella people coming to the show. My fucking parents were there. And this is why it's funny, is because it was in front of my parents.
I was there.
This is why it was funny.
Which I ain't met them, but I've been in their house while on tour, you know.
My parents are lit.
They're
at the time.
Based on their house,
yeah.
they're probably the best parents ever. Like,
my parents are.
And a lot of people don't realize that you're actually. I mean, a lot of people do realize, especially if you fuck with me. But some people don't realize that you're, obviously from Australia.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Immigrant,
you came
baby.
so young.
Yeah.
You know that you lost the shit.
Or 8.
I thought it was 7.
No. It's I was 8, about to turn 9.
Okay.
Yeah, I be
but
telling
either
people
way,
you from Australia. Like,
I am.
Your parents still. You know, they were older when they came, so they still got the accent. You know, they didn't come up in the school because you were young.
Accent.
Yeah.
I used to have it. Yeah. 2 years to lose it.
Hey, do it real quick.
But hold on. Let me just finish the story very quickly.
The story is an accent.
Let me just tell the story and I got you an accent. So, anyways, we leave to the homie's house and kill another 5th. We were already faded. And that was the point of my demise. I'm sloppy drunk. And I did the same thing where I go to perform and I get one song in and I'm so drunk and I was trying to do an acapella. And I kept doing the same 2 bars over and over. And bro, literally, Ewan was there too. And Ewan's like, your zipper's on. Our fly was down. I remember Ewan telling me our fly was down. My parents and I'm hella drunk, stumbling all over my set. And I can't remember a 16-bar acapella that I ran back hella times, 8 times, stumbling drunk.
Yeah, that's
bro, put it like this.
An acapella especially is the worst.
My parents are there, and everyone, it was a lit show. I got paid.
Fucked up in
but I fucked up an acapella with... I was pissed drunk.
With their parents there?
Yes, pissed drunk.
Oh my God,
and
I can never go back home till I'm a millionaire.
Threw a drink at me.
Hey, it was your mom?
No,
it was your mom?
I went outside.
The nicest
I went outside
ever.
to smoke a cigarette. Yeah, my mom is.
She's the nicest person, but it was probably just his mom.
Bro,
fuck out of here, Chase.
You know what's hilarious?
Fuck out of here, Chase.
At the time,
fucking cigarettes.
I wasn't 21.
We want fucking cigarettes.
Hey, at the time, I wasn't 21. So the bar in the back is separated between people who are 21 and people who aren't. And I'm smoking a cigarette. Dolo, hella drunk. All the homies are inside or in the bar. And somebody launches a drink at me. And it hits me directly.
What kind
A beer. A Bud Light.
Bottle?
Plastic cup of Bud Light.
Oh, okay. That's not that bad.
It hits me. And 2 of the homies are there. And they see it. And we run out. We literally are running trying to find it.
Well, I just ran into a wall.
And that's my worst joke story.
That's terrible.
Hey, Justin Bieber got the worst.
In front of the family, in front of the homies, at an almost basically sold out show that I threw, and someone threw a drink.
Was this around the time when you were on the cover of?
No, this is
okay.
A few years before.
How old were you at this time? Early
20s?
20.
Because I couldn't drink. That's why I would say I was 20.
Outside it.
That's when I was my blackout daily.
You're young.
But anyways, that's my worst.
I was probably like 21. I was legally drinking. I was 22. even.
You too,
no
for your
excuse
chokes,
for
the
me.
early 20s on for.
Yeah.
Right when that happened, because all right. So basically, we all
It's
choked
the worst.
terribly in our
You
early
know what?
20s.
I'm not gonna lie. It was like 5 years ago.
So early 20s.
Yeah. That's 23. I was giving myself some confidence.
It is
because really that might have been 22, 23. My worst shit.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's the history.
I forget.
Of cult aligning.
I want to revisit a couple things too, because I feel like we glided over some shit that I'm actually curious to like hear it explain more.
Yeah. Shout out to Carney.
So we went from levels to severe, and severe. You kind of I think you like glazed over that about like how with the car accident and that being the funeral. You even started the album off. The Severe album with a song called Funeral, and that was like a transitional project. Even though you'd already put Levels out, it was like the affirmation. You called the song or album Severe.
Well, Levels was me like, oh shit, it was about to put a project out. Look, I need to put a project out. So, and I had me and Chase, we recorded like hella songs. Like there's
that was just
so
us
many
picking
songs.
the best songs.
Yeah, there's so many songs that people didn't hear.
Way different from Severe.
That I play for my close friends.
Well, out of like 40 songs.
Like, why haven't you released this? It's like you wouldn't understand. But like Levels was like almost me trying to find myself, and like Chase trying to guide me to like wherever the fuck I'm, and we don't know where I want to go. But Chase is trying to take me there.
I'm trying to find my sound with the beats too, though.
Yeah,
it's not as. It's me trying to find my.
We've never really had this conversation, so I don't know.
Y'all were putting flubber in the bottle.
Yeah, and see what happened.
Y'all seen the shit grow, and you were like trying to put it in the bottle and contain it, and that's what.
And we made hella songs and cut it down to 13, I think. Right?
Yeah, I think so.
And then Severe happened.
Which there's a few months. There's a good amount of time in between. Not too much.
Yeah,
a couple months.
Where I went through some more fucking life shit that. Severe came out, you feel me? And Severe was really orchestrated to become what it is, And we didn't make extra songs, we didn't make extra verses.
I remember that.
At all, bro.
Levels, we had a plethora.
Yeah.
Severe, every song. We only made what Severe is. Yeah. We didn't have any extra. Only made that.
And then going back and hearing the songs we didn't make for Levels, and I'm like, oh my god, I need to make another. I need to keep these songs in it because those songs are amazing still.
Bro, we put together Bobby's not next, but next album with old songs we did before Levels.
Before the album I'm about to
literally, that's a factual statement.
That's probably what I'm about to do. Like I have songs before Still Standing that I'm resurrecting with new shit that I'm like, literally that's shit out.
Which I'll tell y'all right now, it's called Like Water, and I'm putting that shit out. So if y'all see anybody with that shit, smack them.
But that's just true, bro. Pre-level songs are pretty much the next album.
Like Water was supposed to come out after Severe at some point. But I wasn't there anymore. I wasn't in that place anymore. I didn't feel trapped. I was like, oh shit, me and Chase can literally make anything I want. That shit's fucking crazy. That just when you get to that point in your life where you're like, bro, there are no barriers. Like you can just go. And that's really where my next project is at. So Severe was orchestrated. We don't have extra songs. My next project is me just running.
Yo, there was a lyric, maybe not of mine, but only. I'm just talking about.
Song.
Yeah, right now, but of that only one said, and I might butcher it, but essentially he has this whole shit about it's kind of this narrative ongoing thing, but the line that always stuck with me, which was I feel like what struck me for Still Standing moving forward, but point being is kind of what you're explaining sounds like this, where he said essentially like. He compares somebody pushing through prison bars and realizing they're made of paper, but he's like comparing it to like creativity and shit, and like that almost sounds like what you're talking about, where you realize like I can run free with this shit, like there's no limit, like now I'm not, there's a whole new lease on what I can do. Is that kind of the feeling you had of this?
Because it's like, oh shit, I can sing now. Because before I met Chase, I produced and mixed my last 2 projects with the help of Praise. You feel me?
Shout out Praise.
You know, one of my best friends. You know. I love y'all. Just playing. But like, yeah, bro. Like it was like being able to do whatever I want finally. You know, and anybody that's ever heard any of my old shit as Severe know that I didn't fit where they were trying to put me. You know, and that's why nothing ever happened. You know, the second I was able to. People don't really know.
Which it did, though. Don't undermine the Severe shit. It did.
Yeah, we went,
I know what you mean, though.
It was part of the growing.
Yeah, right. I just don't want it to be undermined.
But I've also found...
You accomplished a lot as Severe.
But that's what I also
found. A lot
of
life goals.
That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Not saying it, but all I'm saying is, you did a lot of Severe.
Well, that's why I asked this question, because that was what I also, always found interesting is, you made the transition from that. Put out a whole project, Pushing Bobby Bucher, and then the next project is called Severe.
2 projects, actually. 2.
Because of the Praise.
Yeah. 2 Bridges.
Yeah, Bridges. But so you had the 2 transitional projects already, and then to revisit it, hold on, let me give you the story is something that always,
you know what?
That actually, out, you know what I mean?
That actually came from a conversation me and you had. Which funeral actually happened because of a conversation you had.
Really?
Where you were like...
I don't know if I know this, or maybe I'm just...
Yeah, we haven't... Like I said, in case y'all don't know by now, I'm not too, I don't talk a lot. So, when y'all see me on watching shit, I be thinking. But I don't be talking, you feel me? So, now y'all seeing it with my friends, you feel me? They don't know a lot of shit that I feel because I just don't need to because they're amazing. You feel me? But anyway,
words could fuck shit up.
Yeah, bro. But funeral came from you being like, okay, you dropped levels, bro. I remember this conversation exactly.
Damn,
we were went out, bro. We went out to some mall. We went to some fucking spot. We got a drink.
Was this in Portland?
No. This was out here, bro. And
this y'all went to the Aunt Santee alley.
No. It was out here in Northridge, and at a mall.
Oh yeah.
At a restaurant.
Yeah.
It was a fucking restaurant that everybody knows, some
Yard House or something.
I was saying.
But anyway, we went in there. We both went to the bar and shit. We was tripping out because we can pay through the monitor.
Oh,
you feel me? It
wasn't Red Robin.
Yeah, Red Robin.
Okay, I remember this.
Yeah,
this was
shout out Red Robin. Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, and it was at the mall. You're right.
And I remember you being like, "Damn, so, yo, one thing I just want to tell you is you ain't never really told people what happened, and you give little subtle hints, but bro, nobody really knows what the fuck happened to you except us. You feel me? Not in those words, you know, but in your own words, and you was just telling me you need to do something where you tell people why all this is happening to you, you know, and within a week, Chase made that beat, and I remember that day exactly to the pinpoint too.
You're like, what is that?
Yeah, I was like,
for the other what room. Is that?
For the other room, I was like, what?
Give me, that's mine.
Nigga, I sound like Affleck, bruh. Yeah, fucking. I can't. Yeah.
As Batman.
Yeah, okay.
Affleck.
So I come in here, and Chase.
Hey, shout out Lesh One, just walked in the joint.
Cole in this squad.
Yeah. Well, that there, but we were,
you know.
Hey, so anyway,
right?
Fucking funeral was happening, right? So I come in I'm like, what is that? I come in from the other room, and Chase is like, I don't fucking know. I just made this shit, bro. It's my 4th beat. Some shit he would say, I don't know. But
I'm pretty sure that's what I said.
So I'm like, fucking strawberry Sephiroth.
Fucking 4th beat of the day.
I don't know if you know, but it's usually the 4th beat. For me.
Is when he
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. But it's the 4th beat.
That's when your frequencies match.
Yeah.
Right.
So that right when I heard that fucking thing, bro, he was like, what is that? That shit was off. He had stopped it. That's why I was like, what? I got up and I went nah, fuck that. I'm about to lose this forever, bro. Cause this dude don't make the most amazing beat and delete it.
Sure.
Not delete it. Just move on to another
try to
convince you. Not delete it. Not delete it.
Give it to Frack.
Hey, shout out Frack.
Yeah.
Hey, but aside from that though, or he'll try to convince you.
Stealing my beats.
He'll try to convince you to not rap on it. I'm like, this beat's amazing.
Yeah,
you ever have that argument where he's like, don't do a song? I'm like, that beat's amazing.
But there's also the times where I'll be like, this is the one, and that's the beat.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Of course. I'm talking about the very minority.
Bro, I come in the room and I sit down on the chair that Chase is sitting down right now. Chase is sitting on the chair.
You know I hate this chair.
Yeah.
I hate this chair.
I like that shit because I don't hate
I'm gonna switch.
No.
It's all fuck up people.
It's all good. I'm just saying for the record, full motherfuckers, I hate this fucking chair.
But Chase plays the beat again, and off top, which is how we make a lot of the hooks. It just as soon as he plays it, it just happens. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I think I died. Yeah, I think I died. And Chase is like, that's it.
R.I.P.
Exactly what he said. Exactly what he said. This fool named the song. I didn't name the song Funeral. He gave me all those ideas. I was like, oh shit. So I was like, I think I died, man. I think I died. And it was the subconscious thought. This is Severe's funeral. That was like, oh shit, I haven't told anybody why the fuck I'm here. Mm-hmm. You know? Mm-hmm. And Funeral was the first time that I said some real shit and some rap shit like that. Tight, you know,
man.
Like
that's deep. I didn't fully. I don't know if we fully had that conversation or.
I definitely haven't told.
I just don't think you realize the significance of it.
And honestly, no.
But it just goes.
You're right. Telling some real shit like, "Hey, do this," but then he really took that and was like.
It just goes to show where we are in music and how much I pay attention to people I'm around. You know,
the other level of that though.
I really enjoy. Feel me?
Look at this.
Hey.
Oh, fuck our interview we're recording. He watches that shit.
And the other level of that, though, is that really when I was saying that to you, is that I'm echoing shit that I'm hearing from other people about
my shit. Yeah, I know.
And even to this day, like, people are telling me, like, yo, like, you gotta, so lyrical, all this shit, but, like, give your story more, you know what I mean? And so it's like been a constant voice of certain people around me, from like Goldini Bagwell to as recently as Bliss from Bliss and SO. He's like, yo, you're dope lyrically, but give the story, you know what I mean? Also, so when you even were just telling me that, it was echoing when I was just on tour with, and he was telling me that when we're out getting drunk and we're out eating, he's like, bro, give him your story more. Give them this.
Well, you remember when we was outside?
I'm still hearing that from folks. You know, remember and I'm sure that's what it was me regurgitating what someone had told me to you. You know, but it's easier to see it objectively.
And honestly, you do
that's what sparked it.
You do that a lot.
Was that conversation and you knowing that, and then us. You do that a lot to me. You know, like what people tell you, because you're like, oh shit, I just learned this shit. Check this out. You know, and I'm like learning off you a lot. Especially now you're doing all that YouTube crazy shit. But I don't know if you remember me fucking freaking out outside and tripping out. Like, both y'all see me lose hella people in my life. At one time, you feel me? And shit that we ain't never even talked about as friends again, because y'all know where it is in my life, you know? But everything that y'all have said to me and everything that we've, like, done here, it's shit that I've learned off of y'all. It's shit that I, even off Lush, bro, meeting Lush and being like, seeing how charismatic he is. I'm like, damn, I'm an introvert. Like, I gotta chill off that and, like, be myself more. Why am I, you know? And it's thoughts in my head that, you know, but all that comes from cult shit, is what I'm saying, you know? Severe came from cult shit. Severe was the first record that, if you look that shit up, it's 667 record. Yep. It's in the artwork. It's officially the first officially branded thing.
And Bobby, I just heard your song "Long Time" off of the Levels album for the first time.
Long time.
Fucking incredible.
That whole record is crazy.
I don't know why.
We got James, we got fans, so we ride it.
Okay, and Severe is like, it's like
I think that's the outro.
Like,
that song's crazy.
I don't know, bro. Like I don't really like to listen to it, bro. It's like looking at a photo book, at a photo album that you don't like. You know. And
what is the harsh transition, right? It's like ripping the Band-Aid off of the transition. It was also, to me, it's like the coffee bean. You know when you go to the perfume stores, and like to me as a listener, not saying as an artist, like you got your own perspective, but me digesting it. It was the coffee beans, smell it, and then I'm on to the next project. Like it looked like I was doing coke or something. But then it's like, what's the next? You know, it cleared my palate though. You know what I mean? Like Bobby was finding himself still.
How I always described it was because of the way that they were so opposite ends of the spectrum with how we made them, where it's like picking from 30 songs as opposed to just making 6. Me and Bobby both said the same thing to each other. But what I always say is, Severe is a refined and defining version of what we were starting with.
Definitely.
And the sound that we were
definitely
doing.
Had that.
Because basically, it's like literally, it's like you know how people usually say that like sequels, especially are usually pretty bad, especially the number 2s and shit. And like, not to say it's like a trilogy, because it's not like that. But to me, it's one of those things where we kind of Empire Strike Back that motherfucker to where
we were like, oh shit,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
this is what we like from it.
For real though, like, and Levels still I hold dearly in my heart, but just to tie it all back in with the history of making those albums and shit, from my perspective, I think that Severe is the culmination of what we were doing with Levels, and also a representation of the new chapter with all of this shit. Definitely. You know what I mean? Because
I definitely
we make
feel
music.
What you were saying about cleaning your palate.
That's what it was.
Like,
it was
the last time that I was gonna feel this way.
Right.
You know, and one of the reasons people ask me all the time, like, why you change your name? Like, why does it even fucking matter? Like,
you should rock with me regardless.
That's who I am. Like. But people
every
ask me
big
all the
rapper
time.
Got alternate names.
Why you change your name? You know, like and it's like because people expected certain shit from Severe, and I'm not that person anymore. I don't feel bad no more. If my next project, people gonna trip out, bro, because it's something that I even put on my IG live. If y'all not following me, Bobby Butcher, no T in the Butch, but fucking one thing that I just posted was this is the first album that is not coming from a dark place, it's coming from a different. I don't even know. I don't even know where it's coming from. Chase don't know because we listen to these songs and we're like, what the fuck?
How do we do this?
You know, and
I agree. I listen to it.
It's like
it's on a whole nother.
For the first time, I can actually. I feel like this is the first photo album that I've made with Chase that I can go back to and listen to and smile.
Right.
And have a good fucking time and turn up. Lush fucking over here breaking chairs, my nigga, dancing to this shit. You feel me? So it's like, so it's like my first album where
for like 2 hours.
I'm not good at it,
bro. Give it to me, bro. I'll fix it.
It's the first album where it's coming from a good spot in my life.
And that comes through in the sound, man. From personally, fucking, you sent it to me. I mean, I've obviously heard it in the studio, but I really sat with it recently. It was like bumping that shit a lot, and I was like, you broke it down to me one day about hooks and shit. I'm not gonna go too deep into
the don't tell nobody.
Yeah, but like, I can hear it. I can hear the happiness in like every hook. It's like you can picture a fucking, you like smiling, saying it like this. You know what I mean?
I told Chase every song sounds like I'm smiling while I'm talking, like rapping.
Yeah. And that there's a lot to be said for that. That's crazy.
And you seem like when I go back to like. Both of y'all have seen me go through probably the darkest moments in my life, bro. And somehow still be here, be able to drink Henny with my dudes and have a great time, bro. You feel me?
It's always darkest before as light is, right?
Facts. And now, people that have known me forever come up to me all the time when like we're hanging out or like we'll be at a barbecue. They'll come up, they'll be like, bro, you look like you're great, like you're doing great, bro. You look like a fucking millionaire. You're a fucking star, bro. I don't have enough fingers and toes to count how many people have recently came up to me and been like, you're fucking next, bro. And I don't like to think or really like put myself in the position of I'm next. I'm just me, bro. and it took this long, bro, to find me.
And that's where what attracts that.
Yeah.
Because people, and I say this all the time, like, ruin into everything across, but, like, it's something that I realize that I'm still, you know, processing, but that people always can tell when they're being sold on something.
Yeah.
But when you come into your own where you're just unapologetically you,
doing your shit,
it creates a whole different momentum for the people that are watching. And that's what that is, I feel like. That's that fucking, like, yo, you look like, you're like, yo, that's how I feel, right? You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, I feel like $1 million in this new album. You know, people like, you look like you're doing good. Like, and you're not trying to make that song.
I'm definitely.
You're not trying to sell nobody on, here's where I'm at. You're just doing, like,
I'm actually, for the first time,
you know?
not trying to make music.
Right.
And that's
it's very apparent.
You know, and
not in a great way.
But I feel you
like it's very apparent that you're not trying to.
You in here
like
fucked
it's
up.
Like you're not trying. You know that it's just the becoming music.
All right,
I feel like. Right.
Yeah. No. I just feel like for the first time, both me and Chase and you and everybody else that's in 667 has finally found a place that can
we're able to define ourselves through our music.
That can facilitate who we are.
Yeah.
You know, not what we want to sound like, because fuck what we want to sound like. It's who we want to be. Because people be like, oh, you be yourself. Like, nah, bro, be who the fuck you want to be.
Well, that is,
you know?
self is an ever-changing.
Which is, you know,
it's ever-changing constant.
But that also comes from us being such homies that it's like, you can be comfortable around your bros. And it's like, no matter how brilliant or how terrible the idea is, I'm not going to say it to you or Lush or Bobby and get laughed at. It's going to be a collaborative thing where it's like, oh, how can we all chip at this idea to make this idea the best thing? Yeah. And that's kind of the underlying theme with all of this shit.
Yeah.
Is
and what I go back to, like, you get me? On that don't be yourself, be who you want to be, is because some people themselves is fucked up, bro, and they in a dark ass place, you know, and who they want to be, it could possibly save them from that dark place, and that saved me from that dark place. I'm not saying it's gonna work for everybody. I don't even care if anybody really like takes this shit and applies it to their life, but for my life, bro, where I was, who I was not where I wanted to be, and what I wanted to be is what got me here. You feel me? So it's what got me around so many legendary fucking people. You feel me? And like,
and when you a legend yourself,
like, yeah, you feel me? You just start becoming, bro. And I feel like this
don't make art become art.
Yeah.
You know what
Everybody
I'm saying?
in this table helped save my life through this music this past year. And with no melodrama, like, I wouldn't be here. I said that in interviews.
Hey, pass the Henny, though.
Cheers, though. It's bad luck to not cheers. Y'all, 2 cheers. Cheers with him. It's bad luck. It's bad luck. Don't drink it yet. It's bad luck. Y'all didn't cheers yet either.
I ain't drink it, though. I was just thinking everybody's cup. Nah, but for real, like...
But yeah, that's like...
That's really where it all came from, bro. Like, it's that feeling like I was really in a dark place, and all these people help facilitate and get me healthy minded.
And the music reflected that transition.
Yeah, and now when people hear Busy Dying, the EP, which is going to be out everywhere soon.
You're going to be like, this was
people are going to be like, oh shit, we like him like that. And if I was severe, people wouldn't accept that. But I don't, and I don't care if people understand where I'm coming from, because it's me. It's not y'all, you know. But
you don't got to explain nothing. You know, we do explain some shit because we want the people to like have a greater understanding. But like we don't create with and this is something we hella connected on, like, because I feel like that transitional period coming from different groups, and you know, like I shortened Illmaculate to Illmag. You changed names, and we talked. We had a lot of conversations.
We'll later have on Drink Champs.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that later.
Make some noise for that.
Yeah, we'll get into that shit. But like, you know, it's not about explaining yourself in this way, but more about giving context.
Yeah,
because when we create. At least,
which is really
when we create our best shit, we don't create with the audience in mind. We create what we need to create, and then later, if we're talking about it now, we're kind of giving a context to ourselves in our heads if we haven't talked about it yet, and then talking about it. Like, there's hella times when I'm talking, like, on this shit,
where
it's like, I didn't even realize that that's what I thought until I said it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, but, yeah, like, it's not artificial, and that's what I love about watching this whole shit objectively, like, your art, you know what I mean? Like, where you're coming from.
Which ended up resulting in Chopper Reed, you feel me? And, like,
hold on, man.
Nah, there's a few
before we get into that, I haven't. So because I want to get into that full day. Okay, so let's not. Yeah,
I'm here.
Chase,
we here.
So you know, sorry for the harsh.
By the way, I'm catching a flight in like 6 hours.
It don't matter. True. You ain't sleeping.
That's why I came
flight.
And you know, this is just gonna go.
Facts.
I told them on the thing, think of
some
questions, but you know, I have a lot of questions of my own that you know, I feel like just need to be said. Chase, man, like, I have this question. So, you know, when we first talked on YouTube and shit, you producing all this shit, we covered that ground. But, you know, you were rapping at the time. You were coming up in the sack scene. Yeah. You know what I mean? I even on the battle scene, you know, like, early battle shit, you know, King of Sack battle, R.I.P. XT. All day. You know what I mean? Like, Lush with the epic intro. This is the King of Sack battle. You got, you know, newspapers with, you know, with your face on the front of both. You know,
I seen.
Like,
the actual copy.
I've seen the actual copies,
So,
which I found. He ain't even ever told me
Talk
or
about that
showed
real
me.
quick. Let's keep it brief because I got other questions.
Don't ask me how I found it. But I found them.
Okay,
because I got other
about sack.
Talk about how. Obviously, you moved from Australia. You know what I mean.
What happened? Carney
but like, let's talk about like when you're really burgeoning, like when shit's really starting to pop.
Right.
In on the sack scene. Real kind of paraphrase.
I'll give the cliff notes of it. I'll give the cliff notes of it. It basically works like this. Fucking, I moved to America from a musical family. And I'm in 4th, 5th, and 6th grade in America starting from 94. So in Australia, I love music, Michael Jackson, and fucking Guns N' Roses to Frank Sinatra is what I was listening to as a little kid. And Luther Vandross, Stevie, all that. You know, that's what I'm exposed to as a kid. And my godfather is also the bass player for the band Men at Work. I don't even think the homies. I don't even think the homies fully because whatever. Anyway,
Men at Work is fire.
Shout out John Reese. That's my godfather, the bass player. I don't got no memories of you in my childhood, but look, put it like this. Put it like this. I didn't know you were asking for a beer. I didn't mean to step up. Put it like this. I started doing music at a young age. Right. And I really got into hip hop, really as far as creating it, when I was 13 or 14. And at this time, there was a musical revolution happening in Sacramento. This was the same year that the Deftones got their major label deal. I listened to the album Adrenaline, which is their very first album, which to this day, I think is their best album ever. But Sacramento had this insurgence of music in the late 90s, which ranged from groups like the Deftones to the Cuff. And I was a part of that.
Both amazing.
Those are my OGs.
Amazing.
And I was a part of that as a fan.
Alf?
I saw the Deftones perform in a 150 person venue. I saw Incubus perform.
You seen Deftones live?
Facts. And
why have we not talked about this?
And
that's not.
And fucking R.I.P. Chi. The OG bass player, like, bro, trust me, that's Sacramento shit right there.
That's crazy.
Point being, that's the era I came up in. Damn. That's when I was a fan, and I started making music. And pretty much what happened is I built a name in Sacramento, and at the same time that I was doing shows and all this shit, though, I was working at a studio. And the biggest studio in Sacramento,
right?
And that's
shout out
really. Jay taught me. Jay from Amina. Let me just say for the record, is Jay from Amina and DJ Epic taught me everything I know. But basically, that's what happened. Is I was entrenched in the Sacramento music scene at a very young age. Right. My brother was in the biggest local band at the time, signed to Warner. Bucho, the band Bucho. They were a huge band. I was doing shows in my groups that I had at the time and doing battles. And
at that point, hold on. At that point, what was like the what was like the biggest like show or opportunity or like thing that made you like want to keep on? You know, like
show wise,
because knowing your brother's on.
Well, show wise, bro, I've actually opened for a disgusting amount of people. I'll just name 5: Nas, Method Man, Mos Def, fucking Dead Prez, and Royce the 5'9".
Damn.
So
see, we watch Curb Your Enthusiasm all day. Why aren't we talking about this?
But
this
is what it really comes back to is, bro. Like in SAC, bro. Like I did hella shit. Fool. I won the unsigned hype, the Source battle in 2004. That tournament where Ilmac and J-Jack battle. I was supposed to be at that tournament, and I would have got served by Ilmac. The fucking.
Like you were gonna battle this?
Yeah, that was what was that was that year where you and J-Jack.
When I battled,
you would have got served.
What year was that?
Did you get served?
When I battled
J-Jack, a year. There's a Scribble prelim.
That was in Cincinnati.
Okay, so at that time, really is there was I was.
Hey, you the best, Lush.
At that time,
you're the best.
I was doing hella freestyle battles.
I like that cube in Miami though.
I was doing hella freestyle battles, and that's kind of how I built my name in Sacramento. Is I was making beats for everybody who was hot at the time, from Keep the Sneak the week that fucking Tell Me When to Go came out to fucking.
That's crazy.
So
how is that? Like knowing you got it's 2 different worlds, right?
Yeah.
Like when you're you're doing battles.
Wait, you never told me about Keep. You never told me about Keep the Sneak.
You just not remember.
Really?
I'll fuck myself up trying to fuck you.
The best purple I ever smoked was with Keep the Sneak.
But like, how is that? Like, let's address that. Like, you know, you're doing your shit. You're winning Source, unsigned hype. You're throwing shows and opening up for the biggest shit, and then boom, you're also producing on this side. Is that 2 different sides of the brand, or how do you go into that? How do you what's that like?
No, for sure. I look at it like this. I learned from a young age that you kind of have to have multiple hustles in music. If you're doing music, you have to capitalize on more than just your artistry, which is why I started recording at a young age and learning how to make my own shit, because my pops was always a musician, my family was musical, and I was just always interested in that. And I just learned that in high school somehow. I just learned that, I gotta be able to do my own shit. So I became what I think is a very competent engineer and producer. But here's to answer your question, the way I look at it is the reason why I think I'm able to do what I can do is because I will approach it from like engineering. I'll approach it from an artist's perspective. Even if I'm doing a paid session, I'm thinking, what would if I was rapping on this song, what effects would I want to hear? Or if I was that's the mind state that I engineer in. So to me, it all kind of like molded into one.
So it kind of makes it better, which is crazy because this is a question for it. But like it makes it better because you're thinking of it as a personalized thing when you're like mixing. So you're engineering for artists and you want to make it sound like you like personalize it, like what I want my shit to sound.
If I was recording this song,
some people would argue like, that's like he's mixing from a producer's point of view or a rapper's point of view,
and especially
opposite,
and especially learning in Sacramento, you're recording for both sides of the spectrum. Right. Like I'm recording for dope artists, but then I'm also recording for like super gangster motherfuckers, and it's like I know my shit. That's the best training. That's the best training because it's like you're throwing in the fucking boiling, and it's like, can you swim?
You know what that reminds me of? Much? It reminds me of one of my first really dope engineers before I met Chase, who by the way is by far the best engineer on multiple levels I ever worked with, aside from everything else. Some other fool. My partner almost fucked this other fool's mama, so don't even worry about that. But this side he dropped some real solid game on me. He was a DJ and he said every bar you spit should be something that you could hear a DJ scratching in the chorus of another song. You know, like DJ Premier be like, you feel me? So it's like every bar has to be something that you just, you know what I mean?
Yo, that's the
perfect
call. That's how I rap.
I have a way faker, like
you feel me?
Newer school.
Every bar can be scratched.
Hey, Lush is Rick from Rick and Morty.
When I like realized that was so late in the game and so I mean, you know, my style's whatever, but like hearing Chance say, talking about, was it on Kanye's album? He's like, talking about Kanye telling him, like, every line should be able to be quoted on Twitter or whatever the fuck. I was like, yo, I never thought about it from that perspective, and it's kind of the same.
You know what the modern term for that is like meme rap.
Yeah.
Hey,
it's like
that
real, that James.
Not to stop y'all. Hold on, before you take it back. Not to stop y'all. That's the type of shit that I don't understand. It's so technical. It's like, all right, you know the technicalities in music, and if somebody's so technical, they make horrible music. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
I think the type of music you have to be explained why it's dope.
All right.
Like, why is music good? If you have to explain, no, it's dope because.
Right.
Why do you need to create context?
Yeah.
Like when I hear y'all's music. It doesn't need to be explained why it's dope.
There's even shit of raising the bar. I'm like, okay, that's some shit I gotta explain. But I think you do understand it more than you know, because I feel like you create music.
I mean,
you can't not.
I do when y'all break it down.
I quote shit from you all the time, like every other bar, like in a song, and you know, not everything has to be lyrical, miracle, or fucking line up perfectly, syllabic. Like it's got to have feeling and say some real shit. And I think you're the master of saying some real, vulnerable / Swayze shit. Like it can be all in one. You know, it can have a little bit of wordplay, but be vulnerable and sway like steezy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm always quoting that shit. Like I'm like, yo, and I'm always catching shit later when I'm, you know, like I remember my first listening session.
I remember
Levels. I was like late night drunk, and I just listened to all Levels. Like, it was like 10 tweets per song, damn near, and I'm like, and it's quotable. Like it doesn't have to be a punchline. It doesn't have to be, but it has to say something real or a human, or you know,
it comes
like there's a lot of
my
categories.
point of everything was like the technicality of it, as far as like what y'all were talking about. Is like I don't think like that. So when I hear y'all think like that, it trips me out. Like, fuck, am I thinking wrong? Nah,
same shit.
Nah, I'm just thinking different. You feel me? I've realized that
shit.
now.
Well,
now I realize like, oh shit, I'm hearing bars differently.
That type of, am I thinking?
I'm looking for different shit.
But hold up though. Hold up. That type of thinking of am I think is
because y'all
exactly
grew up on.
But hold up, bro. It's
on the originality.
It's exactly why.
You feel me?
I think tying back to what we were saying. I think that's why, I decided to try to figure out how to be my own like. It's like this. It's like oh fuck! I got hella derailed.
No. Because you're
no. I remember what I'm talking about. Sorry, my bad. I was lit right now.
Back to art.
But exactly. But what I was saying is I think the reason why I'm able to what it's like to do it from different perspectives and shit is because I'm forever a student of the game, and the learning curve is infinite, and there's always something you can always soak up, and I think that's also what I learned early is you have to be a student and always be willing to learn in this shit, and that's why when it's like being an artist, engineer, producer, all those different perspectives. I think the reason why I can balance it is because I'm a student.
Well, see, that's where I get at. Like when I hear shit, it's like y'all grew up. Y'all three, you, Lush, and Chase grew up looking for bars in people's shit. Right. You feel me? Like you can't say you didn't.
Well,
I don't know originally. I know as far as when I met you,
gangster rap.
You grew up looking for.
I transitioned around 16, 17 into like underground. Like I started realizing what punchline was like 16, 17, fucking. You know, you feel me? But it was like it was definitely gangster rap. Nah, yeah, but keep going.
Yeah,
that's how you can tell. If you want to look at it.
She goes to like that.
I feel like y'all grew up, and I'm saying I feel because it's an opinion. I feel like y'all grew up looking for things and what people are saying. Mm-hmm. I know y'all listen to music because all three of y'all actually now
we're a bit of
are great creatives.
But it's a reciprocal thing though, where we learn from what you bring to the table.
Reciprocation.
But I know that y'all grew up looking for shit because I have to look for it to understand it. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not just natural to me what's natural to me, if people listen to my music, is feeling. Like I don't write about this cup. I write about what's in this cup and how it makes me feel. You feel me? And battle rap is about the cup and how we can break it.
No, it's but it's just inside.
But not just battle rap.
And it's explaining this corner of the cup and this corner of the cup will shoot and kill you.
Fact. But it's not just about battle rap. It's about the hip hop era that y'all grew up in. I feel like
too, though.
Yeah, I feel like I'm the 50 Cent.
Look at your roots, though. Look at your roots.
Listen to me. I feel like I'm the 50 Cent of that era. I feel like I'm the 50 Cent of that era. I feel like I'm where the door closed. And not to say that I'm somewhere where I'm not, but I feel like I'm just 50.
It's accurate now.
No, you know? He's right, though, because we all came from the school of...
Bro.
And it's not even about age. It's just about...
Rap.
Where we came up, who we came up around. The three of us, we was on some we finna say slick shit. I'm like, we gonna say cool shit.
Yeah.
And soaking up game.
You came from the school of, I'm gonna really
let's tell them something
from my heart.
You know? So it's like,
and we got that in us too.
But
we got that in us too. But you,
because you came from
y'all was saying true shit.
Well, we still came from
some
fly
shit.
It's like he still came from an underground club, but when I hear everything is more on the less punchline driven and more like emotional driven.
Like,
if you listen,
that's where you shine.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
if
saying?
you listen to my music, it's always been me.
Analogy,
it's always been me trying to break out.
He was like Slug. You feel me?
That's a really good analogy.
That's crazy.
No, but that's it. But think about it though. I mean, not to say that, but that's
you was like abilities.
No, I was Ant, motherfucker.
All right. You're Musa.
Oh, no. I was Ant.
All I'm saying, as far as like, I'm not even saying I'm as good as 50, because 50, his hooks is fuck, bro.
Yeah.
But it's like,
was one of those classic guys.
But what I'm saying is,
cool.
I'm saying,
Massacre is damn near as good as.
It was dope.
Facts. Go back and look at
what I'm saying. I'm where the door
Go
shut.
back and look at the track listing and tell me I'm tripping.
I'm where the door shut, and the way the battle rap community accepts me proves my theory. I'm the 50 Cent of this fucking era, bro, because I'm where the door shut. Everybody in battle rap, bro. I can name everybody, bro, that y'all look up to. Or not y'all, but like that y'all look up to, you feel me? Or that y'all been around. Everybody, bro. They all fuck with me, bro. The way that everybody before 50 Cent fuck with 50 Cent, you know, and like.
But that's what 667 is defined by. None of us fit into the conventions of our genre.
Yeah, and that's what I go back to. Like, if you listen to my old music, I was always trying to get here. I just didn't know that this was something I was able to do because I was brainwashed by underground politics, where it was like, oh, you have to sound this way, and you got to talk about this shit to be this way. It's like, nah, I can be real and smile at the same fucking time, bro. And it took this fucking project that's about to come out for me to realize that, bro.
But the way we made music was never, let's do this type of record.
We're talking about how y'all make music.
It's too organic.
I still want to get back to this point because I think, like, I want to glaze over.
By the way, I think 50 Cent is amazing.
Is that, you know,
shout out Max D.
I feel like there was a period in time, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like there was a period in time where, you know, we talked about, you know, being the man inside, you know, having multiple records, you know, locking down your city, battle scene, all this shit, and then boom, like I feel like there was a few years where you know, and especially when we were making a lot of music, where you were like, even sometimes I'll be like, hey, how about you? Like, take it. Yeah. And I'm like, you sure? You're like, nah. And you kind of like took on this producer role, which is a part of your evolution. But I want to get into the psychology of that. Before
y'all say anything, I want to say that Make It Work was the first time I've seen Chase stop being a producer. Mm-hmm. If y'all go listen to that song.
It's the big transition.
But now
ties back to
say whatever you want to say.
There was shit before that kind of led to it.
That
was the full freedom.
That was the first time all of us in the studio were like, what?
Yeah.
It all leads up to that song.
Yeah, there's a bunch of moments before then where I'm like, but I feel like that's where
we understood
everything. Well,
but yeah, talk about that.
It's one of those things where it's like, as long as I made music, no matter how good it was, I've always been able to make beats, rap, and mix the songs, right? So no matter how, not saying how good it was. So I've always been able to do, not everything, but I've always been able to do the, I can do it, right? So for me, do we got to switch it? How long ago did it die?
Oh, no.
We have no idea.
I have no idea.
Ooh, okay. So
we could pick up on the live stream and the audio. And
we can just continue.
We figured it out.
Are you sure though? This is the main camera.
Yes, it will. We got to save in live stream.
Okay.
Got to save in the audio.
Okay.
But hold that thought. Okay. Hold that thought. Let's address the live stream one time real quick.
Okay.
You know.
Hill's a pro at this shit.
Yes, it's on. Yeah, so I go to my Twitter.
He's a pro at this. Like, what we're gonna do? Okay, guys.
Yeah, this is not on Avo's time. This is live. Yeah, the main camera cutout that we're filming the live stream on.
Okay.
Are we good now? Is it back on?
Yeah, we good.
So we just wanted to address some shit. We don't know how far it went back.
Oh, okay.
But
let's just pick up from where we were.
We'll be able to cut it all up.
Context is this. My question of being, you went from being at the forefront, head of the city, doing all these things, but you wear so many hats that there was a certain point, and especially when we were making a lot of music, when I was traveling to SD, all these
which
things.
Which is really actually been before that. Even before that, bro.
Yeah.
We've been, to be real, we've been doing shit the whole time.
Yeah, for sure.
But I feel like there was a certain point there was. There was actually about 3 or 4 different phases.
Yeah,
real.
Yeah.
But me and you was
on some pod shit. I remember.
Because this is year, bro. I got to talk about a few years leading up to this. You feel me?
Yeah, go for it.
You feel me?
Yeah.
But hold on,
I remember actually having conversation with you about this. That's all I was gonna say.
Of course.
I remember me having conversation with you about this.
Yeah, like when I'm like, Ilmac. I went to smoke a cigarette in Ilmac Blair Witch Project of 16. When I came back. Yeah. I went outside to smoke a cigarette in Ilmac. I come back and this fool was in the corner the whole time, and I smoked a cigarette and came back, and he was like, "All right, I'm ready." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, you want to start writing?" It's like, "No." Like,
you're making me want to smoke a cigarette.
What's the reason I heard that story was because he did that in the studio, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
I was like, "No, he doesn't."
And you later explain the story. That's all I was gonna say.
Fact.
But go.
No, but
Blair Witch.
Yeah. So sometimes you went from basically.
Okay, here. I got you.
Well, hold on. Let me give you context. Let me give them context real quick. Another context is the fact that when I first started coming down and making music with you, we were kind of making a joint rap album.
Yeah,
like all the
Sleep
first joints we did.
We were gonna do a collab album.
Yeah, it was a collab album, and then that kind of just got pushed. We never even released any of that ever. Is what's funny. But boom. Fast forward. We talked about all the shit. You're running the scene locally. Yeah. Then,
but that's about the same time though. Not to be real, because all the shit I'm talking about is 99 to 08.
It's right in there.
Feel me? Yeah. No, which is right around that same time
when I'm coming down.
Maybe 07 or some shit.
Yeah, but that's why I kind of noticed you were starting to take a back.
So I always rapped, and
it's for the GoPro, man.
I always rapped.
Chill out with your mind state.
I always rapped. And that was the main thing I was known for. In SAC. Before I was known for making beats or engineering, I was always known in SAC for rapping.
Right.
And basically what happened is from those mid-2000 years to Sleep Deprivation, those times, is when I really honed my craft all around the board, right? I actually really learned how to mix. And I really learned how to make beats.
Facts, I call you rap before your beat.
No, for sure. That's lit, my G. But the thing is I'm a really big fan of music, and I understand the music industry from, I think, a realistic perspective. And I knew from the gate that I always made music not trying to make it for anybody else. Whereas opposed to me doing engineer sessions for all these people or producing all these records, I'll produce. If you paying me, I'll produce whatever sound you want. But I never had a pipe dream about my music.
I never thought that. Like,
I never thought that I was gonna.
I definitely.
I'm gonna be the next fucking Eminem and get $20 million. Because I'm from Northern California. You feel me? Independent music is what I'm surrounded around. And I'm doing sessions for every Bay Area artist you could possibly mention. Right. So I was always very well aware that my music is made only for the people who fuck it. Right? So I also think, which is why I battled in grind time. I was making music.
I brought you up to the Northwest. Right? Damn, did they both fall through?
Well, my Mike Phenom battle was probably my best showing. People could look up.
Now I feel like there were two other ones.
No, you was flat. No, you was rocking with the boy. Shoot me cheese and all that. And we was already homies at that point. But I think what happened is from about 2008 to 9 when I started battling to 2012 or 13 is when I really learned how to rap. And that's what brings it back to your question is I'm a student of this game and I play facets. And to be real, that early battle rap between Smack, Fight Club, and WRC and shit, like that's the shit that and Cassidy freestyles is the shit that really got me on my shit, which is why I'm learning. But I just feel like I'm always a student. My engineering and production continues to elevate, but there was that chunk where I didn't have pipe dreams about my music. I know what it is. I knew what it was, and I had to be all the way right with it. Because even when I go back and listen to that, I'm so critical of my shit that it's like I just learned to take the back seat when I needed to, and I only wanted to do rap shit when I really felt it. And y'all see how I work. I don't do nothing. Honestly, recording-wise, unless I'm really excited, I don't just do random verses. How many 16s could I have done over the last 2 years? Yeah, I don't write like that anymore.
I've had conversation with you where I was like, bro, what the fuck? Like, why aren't you doing this more? Like, why aren't you fucking making more music? Like, what the fuck? He's like, hold on, I got a whole fucking album ready. And I was like, what? He, like, showed it to me. I was like, see, bro, why aren't you putting that shit out, bro? What the fuck? Like, I just didn't understand that he just wasn't there. Just the way that I wasn't severe anymore, he wasn't there anymore.
No, see that.
And
that's
now,
true.
and now,
that's so true.
Aromatic, which is gonna come out,
which
soon,
you know, which is actually old. It's
lit though. It's old, but it's the first time.
That's when I transitioned.
It's the first time I seen this fool, like I said, become an artist, which is make it work. Yeah, he's on that shit. You know?
And this is what I'm talking about.
Instead of becoming a producer.
And this is what I was getting at. Like we went way back, but more so I was trying to breeze past that and then talk about how even more so in this last year I've seen you transition back into being an artist. Like we went way back.
Right.
We had to give context
That's
for
the
sure.
Context.
But
no, I know what you mean.
But like there,
I can explain it.
Very recently, up until like
it's the start of this year.
It's
literally
this year. Yeah.
No, it's this year.
You weren't we were making songs. You would jump on shit. But you didn't really want. You didn't have
I seen it,
bro.
2016. I didn't really make solo music.
I seen it.
Yeah.
I seen it all happen.
Look,
bro.
it's like this.
And yeah, that transition.
Here's what happened. Here's what happened. Is I was living in San Diego, and my situation was whack as fuck, and I just didn't feel inspired as an artist, and I was really on my producership. And so when we moved to LA at first, I was so inspired as a producer, right? So we did all this, and keep in mind, y'all know me. The whole time I still am writing. And ain't never not sharp, you know.
For sure.
But we talk. There's times I'll go months sometimes where I won't record. I'm mad nonchalant about it at a lot of times, but
which is trippy,
right?
Because hearing what you make is like what, like why, like bro. I felt like sometimes I just
I know, bro. But here's the thing. If I was to do that though, then y'all would like. If I was to take it to the neck like that, what would that mean for y'all?
I mean,
and not on no.
What's crazy is that you do after hours.
That's the thing, bro. Is you have to balance. I'm an artist, but I'm really a producer. You get me? That's what I'm really a producer. I'll put it first. I'll put production first.
What's crazy to me is
that... Hold on. Let me just finish the point I was saying. Is fucking is in that time from us starting this whole shit out, and even a few years before that in SAC, I'm kind of just figuring out maybe put an album or two out, balancing it. I just realized that, and I've always had this philosophy with making beats, where making beats always has to be organic and comfortable. But I just got to a point where I was like, okay, I can rap, and that's cool, and I could do all the technical shit in the world. But I put music out like that, and people don't care about that, which I'm trying to make my solo music for the people, or not solo music, the music that I'm on as an artist, I'm trying to only make for the people that fuck with me, or that like really fuck with you. Fuck a random fan. No, I'm going for the person that fucks with me. My shit is not niche. You feel me? Or no, excuse me. I realize that it could be niche, so I'm gonna own it. And it's one of those things where I just never really knew where I wanted to go. Is really where the transition happened, because I love rap, and actually rap will never not be the foundation of my music. Because even when I do the steezy singy shit, if you read it on paper, it's multis. It's all multis. But no facts. But it's one of those things where I've always sung on my hooks. Didn't sound all over. I've always been able to do all these things.
Right. You were the fucking first one to try to get me to melodicize.
Yeah, you know, melody is embedded in me, but I just had to figure out how to separate it almost. And there came a time where, because I've always done that, even my older music back in the day, I've always mixed melodic shit. But there just came a time.
Of course, it's so there.
There's just came a time where I was like,
bitch.
You know what? Fuck it. I've always had this thing with my voice where I've never liked the way that I sound when I rap. I have to either be really fucked up or just get in some sort of... I just have never liked this regular tone of my voice. There's been times where you
told me to punch you before you rap. Just to get that, actually make it work. I think it was
I was by myself when I made that song. But there's a thing where I know I have this weird raspy voice, and for hella long I just hated the way I would sound too. Where I'm like, I know that technically it's written.
I feel like most artists go through that.
I think no.
I love my voice.
No. Here's the thing.
I go through where I love it.
No. Every artist, you are your own worst critic. You were always your own worst critic.
Put it like that.
No matter what, you're always your own worst critic. But I think I just came to a point where, hey, I can do all this technical shit and I love it and I'm a rap fan. But you know what? It's just really fun to let loose and do some melodic shit. And a lot of it comes from Bobby. Because to be honest with you, you threw some fucking gas on your boy. I'm gonna throw some gas back. When I'm doing Make It Work, I'm thinking, what would Bobby do on this? How could I imitate Bobby the best way that I can? Crazy. And that's how I made that whole song. But really what it was is a culmination of all this new shit. And I just...
Then you told me you were writing a rap verse and then you slowed it all down to a different beat and melodic.
There was one day where I was like, I could write a 16 and then split it into... A 16 and rap is 2 verses and singing. Yeah. You feel me?
Fact.
That brings it... It's like my pen is crazy. My pen is on anybody's level you can say. But what I do is I'll be like, I'll just write it like that and then sing it.
What's crazy is
that's how I do all my shit. That's the formula. Write it like a rap and sing it tight. But that's how that all culminates.
We had a conversation about that.
It's a gumbo, bro.
About that.
Yeah.
And I was like,
2 million conversations about
it. I never really, but honestly, I listened to Make It Work and I couldn't make that. It's different. It's technical in a different place that I'm technical at.
It's different techniques.
And even
you can hit all the notes on that.
No, but he's not saying
now. I can now, but I couldn't make that.
Right.
Because
you're coming from 2 different places.
I got you. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yeah.
But
it's like you can never make a Bobby song.
No, I couldn't do drifting.
It's like... It's like, I feel, because you're not there.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Which is what's crazy is because when I play drifting, you've told me, that's one of the songs that makes you feel something.
I get goosebumps every time I hear it. Every time.
And and make it work. It's mine. You know, it's
hey, remember when it was play number 3?
Yeah, it was.
This song gonna remember. Bro. It was number 3 on the album.
If y'all don't know, my memory sucks.
Play number 3.
My memory sucks. But
I've always told you that's my favorite song of yours.
It's my favorite song. Like, no, it's the only song ever that my dad was like, "Yo, son, this is fire."
Hey, on some New York shit.
Yeah,
I was like, Australia.
You know, my brother and my brother and my sister, they fuck with my shit. But my pops was like, "Make It Work" was the one my parents were like, "Yo,
what I'm getting to,
this is fire."
What I'm getting to is that 667 is this big ass cup, right? Right. Full.
Okay.
And the
only where are we at?
Listen to me. And the only people that want to drink out of this big ass cup is people that was fucking with this cup when it looked like this.
Hey, but you know what's lit?
So what I'm getting to is like our 667 cult is based off of people that really love us and really want to listen to us and really fuck with us. Whether it's Lush, whether it's him, whether it's Rob Anthony, whether it's Toolhead, whether it's Ilmac, you know, whether it's Chase, you know, like whoever. You feel me? Like it's our real fans. It's our real fans listening to us. It's not people that are it's our real fans.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what makes us strong,
and they
because
follow it like it's the gospel.
Yeah, because we have that. We have people that listen to us like, what do I do with myself? You know, and finally, if they don't relate to me, they can relate to you. If they don't relate to you, they'll relate to
and you know? See, that's what I also think is the strength of it, because you know, because we talk but because hey, but feel me though, it's because of what the stories we're even talking about now, drunk as fuck, whatever. But
we still on this shit.
I don't think we ever really addressed all these things so outright. And I think it's important.
No, we
like,
have to.
There's been segments, right?
We have to.
But in whether it comes out in parts or whatever, but you know, the people that seen it all, I feel like have transitioned to being the diehards in that 667 movement, which is relatively new as far as like calling it a collect and really actually pushing that line,
right?
You know, and expanding it, whatever. But I think it's because if they don't fuck with, you know, like you said, if they don't fuck with me, they fuck with you. Right. But it's also because of that, you know, for the core, they've seen these moments of growth where we didn't know where you didn't know where you were going. I didn't know where I was going.
I had no idea.
You were in your producer bubble. Then you come back as and like all this shit has been out there for the people to digest. You know what I mean? And that's what I think.
I kind of like how you know what I mean? That's exactly what I was gonna say, Mac. Is I kind of like
He actually told me this earlier. He was like, "Yo, this shit actually is a cult."
No, what I said was, and this is exactly what I was gonna say is. I said, yes, this is a cult. This actually manifested into...
Were you about to roll like 10 blunts?
I didn't mean to break it down.
Hey, I'll roll one. Give me that shit.
But...
Oh, you can't zoom into this shit.
They see it on the shit,
this one's got like a half an ounce.
Bro. Hey, y'all, hey, y'all be talking about a gram is a lot in a blunt. Yeah. Hey, you want to know what I say? Ha ha! Alright.
I don't know what a gram is.
Yeah, me neither. I stopped measuring weed a long time ago.
In one of our songs?
I don't know what a gram
is.
You know?
We're
talking about the diversification of funds in the stock market as opposed to the... No, yeah, we're talking about how the cult following...
Okay. Here's what it was. I said to Bobby one day that this transition from an idea to a physical thing.
Yo,
this
hold on,
but that's that's what you were saying, right? Is that conversation? Go ahead. I'm gonna take a jack. Hey, is that the conversation that you were talking?
What I want to stop.
Don't get up. What?
I want to stop you. I want to stop you before you.
But is that the conversation? We're on the same conversation, right?
Say it one more time.
The one where I was like, the cult is not an idea anymore. It's a physical thing.
Okay, stop. All I want to say is this is a real conversation that we had in a fucking car, and we really.
Well, you were like, bro, this shit is getting so crazy now. We put out
Niggas got shit tatted, bro.
No, hold up. But let's bring it back to what we was talking about. Is how crazy the cult following and type of shit is. There was that day where I was like, hey, fam. This is not an idea
That's all
anymore.
I want to say. I remember.
I know. This is what we was talking about.
This is real.
This is not an idea anymore. This is a physical thing. This is not just hey. This is something we're gonna do. No, this is something. This is something that people are putting their lives into. And so, what my point is there's that convo that me and you had, and we're like, you know what? That's why we have to go so hard with this shit. Which obviously culminated in all of us joining and being into this shit, but
which originally
this shit became a reality.
That too,
originally,
in a whole different conversation because that has been its own thing.
So really, we're going up into Sweet and Aromatic because we didn't even touch on Chopper Reed yet. So we gotta get to that. So right now we up to Levels, Severe, and the creation of Sweet. See, I'm keeping it journalistical. So we up to the creation of Severe. Hold up, bro. I can't get my journalistical shine.
Hold on, I just want to add to the tags that they find on Google.
Yeah, we editing all this. Y'all can get the live stream.
We gotta make sure.
All right, look. So
they start filming every so often.
Oh really?
Fuck it,
yeah, I didn't know that. I just found out.
Oh, we don't know how long the computer cut out.
But we have that.
What's the maximum?
Oh, the computer did?
Or not computer. Camera. Sorry.
So look.
What's the maximum?
All right, look. Point being,
30 minutes.
We covered like really what I wanted to talk about now at this point, anyways, which is what we've naturally come to, is we've gone through. This will go up in segments, but we've gone to
levels.
The levels, the severe levels
of these because we still standing smoking Sweet Aromatics.
Woo!
Woo! And my boy Lush 1 is above the devil. Nice. Do you know why? Because he busy dying.
Hey, all I want to say
because my Rolex got 100 bezels.
Before we move on, this shit is on some like. It's on some like omen shit. Like, man, only God.
Hold on. Because this might end up being a different segment.
Yeah, we gotta keep.
Let me set it up with the right.
Gotta keep it.
Only God got control.
Because we ain't even talk about Chopper Reed. Which is what I love.
That's
I'm ready to get to that.
Yeah.
So look.
Hey, Lush, can you keep making sure this shit recorded?
What do I look at?
It'll say REC.
Okay.
Shout out to everyone in the chat. We want to go to y'all.
Yeah, we're gonna get there, but. There's 15 of y'all. Shout out to y'all.
Hey, think about questions, and I'm gonna come to you in a couple minutes.
But
I want to cover this one thing. One more.
We
point
filming for
Yeah, exactly. We got the laptop.
What's up?
Which is the most important.
Yes, no. But my point is like I wanted to kind of do it chronologically. You know what I mean? Because I don't feel like it's really been put in perspective. But now
I feel like from.
Yeah, I feel
our
like you're the first person to put it in perspective. To me and Sack, to you doing Ohan and being Severe.
Here, so I just wanted to,
From me and Sack to him being Ohan and Severe, me moving to SoCal, us meeting on tour, us linking here, creating levels, doing Still Standing, Sweet and Aromatic.
It brings me to this is that
that's the
I
just hit it with a lit time. That was a good little timeline.
Feel me?
So that's where we at chronologically. What's popping?
Nah, for sure. But it brings me to this question: is that so we see the evolution.
Is the cohesive?
Let's drink to that motherfucker.
Is he the make some noise, goddammit, for that being hard.
Drink something, but drink to that because that was hard.
Hey, can we have a piss break? We've been drinking like hella shit.
Hold on, we about to. Yeah, I got a piss.
Okay, can I go take a piss real quick?
Go ahead. Hold on.
Go take a piss and let's talk to the.
Wait, who that? Bro, I should have.
Let's talk to the chat. Because I want to get into.
Should have went with y'all, bro.
I want to get into the. Nah, it's cool. It's dope though because we needed this convo.
I'm actually more glad that I stayed.
No, hey, it's all. But
I was just saying I had a thing in SD. I'm more glad I was here.
Yeah. I want to get into the meat of Chopper Reed because that was the whole point of this. But I really wanted to get the in-depth story and like put it out. You know what I mean? Because I think even through Ruin Your Day, like we've talked about the evolution of shit through Ruin Your Day. We talked about all these things, but never really gave the full story. So I wanted to capture that.
Let's do that.
And yo, it's funny. Different cats in the chats. These cats are hilarious. So lit they can't keep a train of thought for more than 2 minutes. Yo, but the train of thought. You're talking about a train. It's moving on. But and then I just
because I'm staying on track.
Yo. And your girl can get the derail
Fuck the chat,
from
man.
The chat is what's keeping it. And so I want to get into the meat of that.
All right, but come on, what's up? What are we talking about? Nah, fuck a Pittsburgh. What are we talking about? Let's go.
Well, let's talk about the chat real quick. These fools.
Oh, okay.
Ilmac TV. Yo, I really appreciate everyone tuning in, especially tonight.
Support the Patreon.
The event went down. Smack Volume 1 went down.
Everyone talked about how much Elmac should have been on that card. But you know
what?
what?
Should have been on that
card.
Wait,
hold up. He would have turned it down anyway. Because I knew you wasn't trying to battle after JC.
Yeah, that's
facts. Though you would have turned it down. Facts.
Yeah.
Because for real, if they would have been like, "Yo, this small room joint," even though it would have been lit, you would have turned it down because you knew what your plan was.
And it was
which was actually executed perfectly, by the way.
It's in the
and constant. I think that you know what I'm saying, like, bro, I don't even want to get into that inspirational shit because
it's just into
you the best, bro. Everyone look, bro.
Besides Bobby,
look, I'm gonna just say this right now. I'm gonna say this because we lit on this shit. Let me hit the sig, one drag. Give me a drag. Don't fucking knock it. I'm a grown ass man. Give me a drag of a cigarette.
I know.
What the fuck?
I know. A drag.
But
a drag.
And only Coke
and open that up.
But I'm a supportive homie.
And only Coke is small shit.
And you
know what? Hold up. Let me just say that.
Vape,
let me just say y'all right now. Take the cigarette from me.
Congrats.
So take the cigarette from me. Let me just say right now that all three of y'all have been lit. And keeping your boy off the stage.
Fuck you, Chase.
No, I'm commending you. Y'all have been keeping me off the stage.
Hey, mostly like your boy.
You have been keeping me. Hold up. Let's get back to this, but y'all have been keeping me off the stage.
Because everybody else smoked cigarettes except me.
What we were saying was...
Nah, man, I quit.
What we were saying was...
Hold on. Nah, because before we get to that, like, you gotta take it back. I might have to take a piss real quick.
Yeah, I gotta piss.
All right.
I'll
do that.
Well, what we were just talking about so we can come back to it.
We're just ranting.
Nah,
yeah,
bro.
You wouldn't lie to me.
Purposeful shit.
Chase would lie to me, though.
We were trying to address the chat and shit. And we're just talking about the evolution, which brought us to where we're at, which is my next question. Before we get into Chopper Read, though, let's take a quick break.
Yeah.
Let's address the chat.
Okay, I got you.
These bitch ass fools.
Lush, I'm gonna take a piss.
Yeah, go take a piss.
Take my seat. Talk to these fucks. Y'all want to talk to Lush? We got 15 cats. Talk to Lush because you're gonna come into this conversation because you a vital part of this shit.
My point being though is that we. Huh? Pause the whole shit right here. Do we need to for that sake? Because just pause. And we're about to pause this shit real quick, but holler at us in the chat.
No, I'm not fucked up because why would you? That's a funny assumption because I'm quiet. No, man, I'm trying to let the gang get their shine on, bro. It's not always about me. You feel me?
He said Lush must be fucked
No,
up.
I see that.
Is it done or what?
Nah, just keep going. Fuck it.
Oh, okay. Well, look, man. Let me see some.
I don't see the pause button.
Let me see some 667 emojis.
Yeah, the point is for me.
Some emojis, baby.
I just wanted to capture the historical sense of this shit because I think it's going to be significant at some point. Like, and I think it's significant now, but you know, there's the releases in hip hop. And it isn't about any one individual. You know what I mean? There's like influences on it all the way across the board, but to me, it's more about you know, these separate factions. Growing independently of each other, but still cooperatively. You feel me, Bobby? Like, you're stupid. But so I want to talk about.
I feel you.
We led up to Chopper Read. I wanted to give context to that, though. You know what I mean? But like before I got into Chopper, that was the whole point of this. Is before I got into Chopper Read, I really wanted to give. Like, okay, well, what's Bobby's story? What's Chase's story? What led to this? You know, like what before we even got into what led to Chopper Read? Because for me, the music is so powerful, and I'm gonna reiterate this because you know I want to reiterate it in the Chopper Read discussion. So But let's talk to the chat right now. We got a lot of people in here. Shout out to Davis East. Shout out to Macon Pie. Shout out to Luke D. Casper. But like everybody who's in the chat active, the whole, with Ilmac TV, this is probably gonna be my first the jump off of the podcast. I don't even have a name yet, but I really wanted to capture the kind of build up to Chopper Reed, and what really put that in perspective. You know what I mean? Hey, hold it down. I'm gonna take a piss real quick, and then we'll get into this. What really, the Chopper Reed story. But, hold it down. Talk to the chat real quick. Yeah. Talking about.
Hey, hit the fan. Hey,
we're just saying you don't gotta pause it. You don't gotta pause the live stream. Just
hey,
give us
how
a
much
couple
of the camera do? We have no idea how much you got or not.
It's still not.
Memory's full.
All right.
Both cards.
It's a wrap.
Hey, but
hold on, because we can hook up the GoPro now.
But
so I was sleeping on the GoPro.
All right, so we'll do the rest of it from the GoPro, man.
Hey, but if y'all
hit the fan up, bro. Fuck, bro.
Yeah.
It's great. It's
But talk to the keep the fans engaged.
Hey,
talk to the chat.
But we have the audio and we can transform the video from video, and it'll be the same audio, perfect audio.
Hey, you don't know where the bong is for?
Bro,
hey, bro, you have to ninja push it
inside here.
Yo,
top, it's like.
Yo, what's up, guys?
Bottom right. It's like you know what I mean.
Hey, high key, I thought you were like.
Rub the clit of the.
I felt like
of the AC. Right? No, for real, right?
Look at this. Look at this.
You gotta hit the.
Hey, look at this.
Look
at this. Look at this. We got rooster emojis. I didn't even ask y'all. Hey, Jit Gang, what's happening with y'all, man? My brothers are in the function. I had to pop up. Y'all want to see what I'm wearing right now? Y'all want to see my shoes or what?
Hey, facts. Hold on. Hey, go listen to Chopper Reed. It's out everywhere. Available wherever the fuck y'all listen to music. Go watch the video, Drug Dealers, on 667 Cole's channel. Go subscribe to our shit. If you smoke weed, we smoke weed. So if you see us, smoke us out.
Hey, but if you ain't sending pounds or cases, we don't fuck with you.
Those are Alexander McQueen's.
And the homies are gonna attest to that. We don't fuck with you if you ain't sending pounds or cases.
Yeah, I'm dropping a
project.
Right,
Talk to him, baby.
Yeah, no, we need quantity, baby.
I'm dropping a project.
Hey, this is quantity and quality.
Quantity of quality.
I'm dropping a project called Chopper Reed. I'm actually dipping out.
Oh, look at all the roosters.
I mean, busy dying. I dropped
the already, faggot.
I dropped a project called Chopper Reed with Chase Moore. I got another project dropping called Busy Dying. Chase Moore got another project dying.
Go Sweet Dying. And then,
Chase got
another project aromatic called Sweet Dying.
Chase got another project dropping called Sweet Aromatic. We out. Hey, we out here. If you ain't busy being born, you busy dying.
Barbecue I got from Postmates was smacking.
Yeah, there's another little project, you guys. It's called it's called NP4. Fresh Coast NP4. These fucking ops that I'm hanging out with, they don't want to mention it. These fucking ops.
I'm going to Ohio tomorrow. Fuck these niggas.
The biggest project of everyone's career.
Hey, you and Essence be the link.
And the ops don't want to mention it.
Hey, on the right side of the lip, you know what I mean.
If you guys want to ask any secrets, I'll tell you.
Hey, on the right side of the lip, you know what I mean.
No, hold on. I'm dead serious. You know that.
Yeah, let's do it. Everything. Hey, I'm trying to, fuck, we're on live.
This Essence is a real ass G. Shout out to Essence. Ohio Essence. Ilmac done kicked it with Essence. You know how real homie is?
Hey,
Essence is the guy.
Hey, but you gotta link me this time. Last time you didn't link me.
You want to have the general?
Oh, now you're going to have a conversation.
Come on, you know you do.
I'll shoot you.
Nah, I have his number. And I made it. I know the dude.
We out here, gang.
Because I know the dude. Matter
of fact, I'm finna hit some lit shit.
Yeah, from Red.
All over without.
Fucks with Red.
Yeah. Now, honestly, I hit him because of Chase, but he said that he don't know me. But hey, shout out to Essence. Shout out to my homegirl Reverie.
Shout out to Ohio. I've been in Columbus.
The whole
hey, I got kicked out of a club. I got kicked out of a club in fucking Columbus with Satire because we snuck a bottle in the club.
What's
and
up,
the promoter found it. I was on tour with Reverie in Essence. and we snuck a bottle in the club, and they kicked us out, and then realized that we were performing, and we talked to the promoter and got us back in. It was lit.
Well, goddamn.
Hey, Chopperita's out. It's everywhere. You can fucking Google that shit. Chopperita.
We gotta get into that.
It's everywhere. You feel me?
We gotta get into Chopper.
Busy Dying gonna drop.
I want to talk about these
before the year over. Hopefully, if not after the year.
Sorry, I'm just
setting. If not, it'll be January 1st. You feel me?
I'm setting up the GoPro. We're gonna keep it lit.
That's Baby Jesus Day.
No, it's not. 25th is bull.
Bro, hey, who else you know who we fucking?
And to be real, hella, that ain't even the OG celebratory day on 25th.
Motherfuckers are dumb as hell. Jesus Christ.
Holidays,
Jesus
bro.
Jesus Christ means.
We getting the GoPro line.
Jesus Christ means one who was anointed. His name is Yeshua ben Joseph.
And you know, half of the rituals are pagan though, right? You know that, right? Hey, bro, I just ate that, bro. My bad, bro. Oh, so the second you come back, I gotta clear the table because I had to eat.
Exactly. Yeah.
And rest in peace to my brother Cadillac. My brother Young B.
We ain't live on
my brother Kodiak.
Elmac TV is getting this work the whole time.
My brother PH, my brother Jack. Free my homeboy Norm.
I know they're there.
Free my homeboy Carl. Free my homeboy Joseph. Free my homeboy Rodney.
Hey, look at this blunt.
You gotta split that last sip with me, bro.
Free my homeboy Solid.
Only if
free my homeboy Minor.
Everybody shuts up so we can continue.
What? We just got the second we get ready. Oh shit! I'm rolling a chop right here.
Hey, that's what Lush was going in on Freeze.
Because Lush is the truth. You don't give a fuck.
Yo, we out here.
It's my fucking round right here. I'll kill for these fools, bro. You got problems with my brothers, I'll kill you.
Hey, on some real shit, if y'all want to go look at our music or go look at our latest release, y'all can go to 667cult with a K.com, and everything's on that shit. So our recent releases, our videos, Elmax, Raising the Bar is on there. All our whoever's on the squad, you feel me? We updating it all the time, but
alright.
If y'all want to see the recent release,
let's go. Let's take a.
I was
hey, do you mind hitting the air real quick?
Yeah,
Carney?
turn that on.
Carney, hey, military, yeah. To the left.
Hey, my boy Carney will hit your ass with an odd job at
hey,
50K bullet.
Do you mind just like squeezing the legs together just to make it a little bit taller? The GoPro. The GoPro. Yeah, just a little, you know what I'm saying? Just to raise it a little bit.
Look, bro, I'm not the biggest fan of mayo-heavy shit. But macaroni salad is lit. I'm not the biggest fan of mayo-based shit, but I'm telling you, macaroni salad still do it.
Gross, son.
All right.
No, here's the key to macaroni salad.
Yep.
Hey,
not as you literally take the amount of liquid and dial it in half, and then shower it in pepper.
All right, look, hold on.
No, dead ass, bro. You literally cut the amount of mayo in half and shower it in pepper, and macaroni salad is lit. It's spicy. It's not as, you feel me?
Because mayo's for fucking repulsive white people.
Right. You gotta cut that shit back. No, I was just telling you how to make it lit.
Honestly,
do not hold up. It can't get derailed. No, I'm talking about making it lit.
All right, hold on.
The liquid by 3/4 and a shitload of peppers. That's how you make it lit. Not all mayo-y and whack. No, you ain't kidding. I'm riding for my version of that.
Wait.
The second we start again, we gotta get this to come on, man.
I want to give you the last.
We ain't been serious for 20 minutes.
I suck that portion
you,
out.
You can't rock with your boy. I gotta feel like I'm
trending. You made your point.
I'm just playing.
All right.
Shut up.
All right, so look. Boom. We had a lot of, we got issues. Avo ain't in the building. What's up? We're switching cameras. We're doing all these things. But, you see, we talked about the story. I wanted to cover the most important grounds of the independent evolutions of you guys before I got into this.
Facts.
That's why I purposely put, this question to the back burner. And then right after this, actually, for who's left in the chat, please think of questions because immediately after we're gonna come to you. Anything you might have to say, we want to address, and we want thoughtful questions. But before we get into that, we covered the individual, how the links were made, the individual growth processes,
us leading up to this shit,
and
how
now,
we all came
now
together.
The question is sort of the story about how Chopper Reed, the newest album, which you got the music videos out, the album's out. I seen the promos. I posted that shit. Right. So let's talk about the album. And first and foremost, because from the producer perspective, like give us a little bit, and let's leave it open to where I want to hear this perspective too.
Exactly.
But like, where from a producer perspective, before we even get started, or
it has to do with it. It does.
Talk to me about how Chopper Reed really started developing. Was it an accident?
No.
Where songs were made all of a sudden, like we should do some shit?
Okay.
Or
got you. As far as it being an accident, it kind of was. But this ties back to everything we were saying before, where Sev and I both went through these phases where we found our
Bobby and I.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. That's your actual name, though. It's your Govey.
So when Sev and I were going through the when Bobby Bucher, bro, now y'all derailed me from my whole fucking train of thought. Fuck y'all. All right. So no. We both went through these transitional phases with our music where we kind of found our voice and the direction that we wanted to go, and I think that was a levels. Severe, all the shit I was doing. I feel like together and separately we were both defining ourselves as artists. Okay? So there came a point where you know how it is, we have so many random songs that we all got our individual projects and shit and individual songs, but how many other joints do we have that are crazy collabs and shit like that, right? Mm-hmm. It just happens because there's so many different people in the studio, blah, blah, blah. So it's kind of a culmination of us finding ourselves independently with our own music and where we want to go, and us having so many songs that it was just a point where we both didn't want to rush into the next album, and we just been creating, and it was kind of like, fuck, we should probably do an EP, probably, right? Maybe a conversation. We should probably do an EP, right? Yeah, we probably should. All right.
But can I interject?
No. Hold on. Oh, yes, but hold on. So we had the conversation before, like, we might do an EP. You feel me?
Right.
Maybe. Okay. And there was just one day where we were looking random shit up, high as fuck, and I'm talking about Australia.
The rhino porn really just sort of inspired.
I'm talking about Australia, and I'm like, yo, you ever seen the movie Chopper? It's amazing. You ever seen the fucking movie Chopper? And this fool's like, nah, what the fuck?
Only roll Chopper.
What the fuck is Chopper? And I'm like, yo, bro, he's this fucking Australian criminal that's lit. This fool Eric Bana, you know that fool who played Hulk? He was like, yeah. I was like, he played this fool. Hold up, let's just pull up some YouTube videos. I showed this for one video.
Some facts, hold on. I have not seen the movie because I wanted to wait till the album.
Yeah, we've literally been waiting until
and I'm actually going away tomorrow, so I'm not gonna see the movie till I come back.
Watch it with Shelby. I'm pretty sure they've seen it.
I gotta watch it with Squad.
Shout out to
but it was one of those things where we were watching Chopper Reed, the real Chopper Reed videos on YouTube, and this fool Sev is like, this is the tightest. Bobby is like, this is the tightest fool ever.
It's like, oh, what if I shot you in the knee?
Yeah, we watched the clip with the Russian roulette shit, where he does the Russian roulette with the journalist, and this was like, bro, this is my idol.
This is my spirit
He's like,
animal.
we
so
should
what
name
was that?
I literally said this is my spirit
What is
animal.
that scene? What is that scene?
You know it. Explain.
All right, so he like pulls a gun out, right? A revolver.
And this is not the
This
movie.
is an interview. This is an interview with the real Chopper Reed on a news station in Australia.
Yeah.
Right after he got out of jail for a murder bid.
That y'all can find on YouTube and shit.
Look it up.
If you look up the right shit. But anyway, like he pulls up. First of all, he shoots. Anyway, like fuck.
There's a lot of
the interview's crazy.
I just realized it's too much to say. But anyway, like. He like shoots off a fucking revolver, right? Maybe it's like a
The 6-shooter.
Like a 38 snot nose. I don't know what it is really,
yeah.
but he it's for sure a snot nose.
Blow his nose.
It's a juvenile strap.
So anyway, he pulls that shit out. He shoots that shit a couple rounds. He's like, oh, it works. Say, hey, how would he say?
Bottle.
How would he
he's
say?
He's like, oh, hold on, you want me to give it a go? Show you it work? He's like, shoots the bottle. Oh, yep. Kind of works nicely. Yeah, work.
He shoots that shit, and he's like, okay, and then he puts it to his shit. So like, say this is the gun, right? He like puts it to his shit, right? And he clicks, and after that he's like, oh, haha, shows us the fucking where the bullet is at, fucking. He's like, he's talking to the fucking the lady that's interviewing him. The journalist is, you know, and
do you want to go?
He's like, do you want to go? She's like, oh, I'd rather not. He's like, click, bad luck, you know, and he laughs.
Like,
after
it's
that.
Bad luck to say nah.
Back clicks it on the.
He clicks it on her, and the actual report that was given out to the world, that part is censored, you know. But if you YouTube that shit, they show you the actual shit.
That sounds like attempted murder in the United States.
Well,
but the second you saw that shit, that's what Bobby was like.
It's just a good
Bobby was like, we gotta name. It was like, we gotta name the next project after this fool.
So he does that. I think a week later he goes to jail for life, like type shit.
Or not? Yeah, like the real chopper,
you know. So
and this fool was just Bobby was just so.
I was just taken back by it. I was like, what the fuck? This is such a bro. He's so him, you know. It's like I'm me so much to like where I understand why Kanye tripped out. Why he was like, yo, George Bush don't care about black people type shit. You know, like, I understood all that shit.
Yeah. Because the thing about Chopper is, if people don't know, is he's a psycho, but he's funny. It's the yin and the yang.
It's in the same conversation.
He's the worst person alive, but you watch him.
Is he though?
Exactly. My point.
Is he though? Exactly. Is he the worst person alive?
No, he's not.
He does wild shit.
But that's my point.
When he says it, like when he's talking about like who he robbed and hurt the most, he's talking about heroin dealers.
He ain't fuck up no one innocent.
They all got everything. Why should I have nothing?
But that's the embodiment of the project, bro. We did that. We actually, Chopper Reed was supposed to be aggressive. And 4 liters and Chopper Reed. The whole album was supposed to be like that.
And I was about to say, this is what I was going to interject.
The whole album was supposed to be like that.
This is what I was going to interject earlier before I was so rudely interrupted by the people being interviewed. But,
AKA not interrupted.
Exactly.
Hey, so anyway.
I was responding to an off-the-cuff comment that you guys made about it just being like, oh, it was kind of like somewhat... The recording process was random at times, and the features turned out to be random. I want to say
features are not random.
I was finna say I feel like it was very methodical.
Yes.
There's 3 features on the record.
It happened.
Yep. It's Satire, who's a close affiliate, a brother of us, and 2 members of the squad. Bill Mack and myself.
And y'all too.
And I felt like when we made the 4 Liters record, it was like y'all were looking for a turn-up joint.
Yep.
You reached out to your turned-up.
Yep. And it was created like, yo, this is Chopper Reed. So it wasn't,
I feel like you just happened to be there, and we just happened to make the song.
Lyrical ass joint, you feel me?
But remember, it was like, nah, he's right, though. There was that point where it was like, nah, we're going to use this for Chopper Reed. Like,
you wanted to put it for something else at one point.
Yep, and then it was like,
nah. This would have super hurt my feelings.
At one point,
but nah,
honestly, at one point, Chopper Reed was supposed to be my next EP. You know, at one point, that was my idea. But, one, it wouldn't happen without Chase. And 2, it couldn't happen without Chase rapping in it. You know?
Yeah, because you always are you've always been the one, this fool on tour would be like, yo, the DJ, y'all didn't know he could rap? Hey, spit. When he wouldn't tell me, this fool would do that to me on tour. He'd be like, hey, like, so this fool Bobby is always
he wouldn't know. I wouldn't do it every
huge
show
supporter
either.
of my artistry. I know, this fool.
But I would like, nah, this fool can rap. Like, I'm not one of the first people to say it, but I'm one of the first people to say it on tour. I was like, nah, my nigga can out-rap you.
Yeah, you're like, hold up. He'd be like, you didn't know the DJ could body y'all? They're like, hold up. Spit something, and I'll be like, "What the fuck?" You be like, "Nah, fuck that, bro."
But bringing
He's always
it back
been a big
Chopper
supporter
Reed, you know,
of
like,
my artistry. Always.
Hell yeah, bro. You're the best. You're the best.
You are.
You know, but bringing it back to Chopper Reed, like one of the things that people might miscommunicate is why it sounds so soulful. And I think why it sounds so soulful is because we didn't make Chopper Reed based on who he was. We made Chopper Reed based on who he died as.
Damn.
You know, because one of the last things before we indulged into this, indulge, is that, can I use that word?
Indulge, that's correct. Yeah.
Before we indulged into this project was that interview where he had cancer and where he showed us the cancer and where we literally.
The last interview he does. He's withered away. And
I don't know if Chase watched it on his own.
Nah, me and you watch it together.
The first time?
Yeah.
Alright, so the first time we watched Chopper Reed, knowing he's gonna die, talking about, I ain't do all that
No,
shit.
he died already. We were like, wait, he died?
He died already?
Yeah, remember? We were like, wait, he died?
Yeah.
And then we...
you know what?
It was the last interview he ever did.
I was like, wait, is he still alive? And you were like, yeah, he is. And you looked him up and he was like, oh,
no, he
what
died!
The fuck?
Facts.
And we were both heartbroken for like a week.
Yeah, I was like, Chopper died? No! Which shout out to Ethic.
Yeah,
shout out to Ethic too for writing for Chopper.
It wasn't.
Shout out to the boy.
I still hadn't said anything about Chopper.
We had been making the album and we didn't.
But we didn't know.
I didn't say
anything about Chopper Reed at that point until we watched that last interview, which was like 3 days later, where he was dead already, and we watched this shit, and he was talking about like, nah, man, I'm just pretty much. He said, I'm a good storyteller. Yeah. You know?
I never let the truth get in the way
of
the story.
Now, what
did he say that?
Yeah,
because that's obviously
he says like he says, I never let a jib get in the way. But bro, basically he goes, look, I killed hella people, but I really only killed 4 people.
Yeah.
And I'll explicitly
he said I only got convicted for killing 4
He's like,
people.
so I'll explicitly tell you the details
why
of those murders.
Yeah.
But let's believe a sociopath.
But
it's so lit. Yeah. He's like, all right, I'll explain 3 murders I did, all right? And that's all I did.
I've never really had this conversation with Chase or anybody, but like I really wrote what I wrote based on how he died. Like based on on the feeling I got that when he died, because I have homies that are never gonna get out of jail, you know. Like I don't know what it is because I'm out here, but I know what it is to know what it is to know that, you know.
Well, bro,
to know people that got outcasted. So like I wrote based on that last interview. I didn't write based on all his murders and him, cause you know what, I fucked up too, bro, and I done a lot of shit that was stupid as fuck, and I never got a DUI or nothing, but like I done some dumb ass shit, bro. Where like I'm lucky I didn't get a DUI, you know. But like I'm not saying Chopper Reed was a good person or he was a bad person, but all I'm saying is like,
you know what I hear, Jack?
I wrote it based on what he wanted me to feel, based opposed to what people thought of him.
Well, there's parallels, right? In that statement by itself. Like, talking about murders, like murders, right? Then you talk about writing on the in the perspective of, you know, like who you are, not what people think you are, whatever. Like, I find parallels in the exact conversation we're having tonight, talking about your evolution and your evolution. Yeah. You went from, you know, rapper, producer, engineer, to then you fell back, kind of murdered the rapper for a minute, where you were really just kind of like focusing on the engine. And that was the time, even around Still Standing, you weren't really trying to rap. Yeah. And levels did it, but you kind of murdered the rapper for a minute. Yeah. And you're just like, I want to put my focus in this, which built things. And then boom, now
that's honestly, like
Severe to Bobby, like that.
Honestly, Chopper Reed is like
you murdered.
You know what's crazy about
Chopper Reed is like a checkpoint, bro. And honestly, what's crazy as fuck is that you were supposed to be a big part of it.
Well, we didn't know it was going to be a solo.
We didn't know he was gonna tour.
3 of us, we didn't know.
We didn't know he was gonna tour until he fucking started not being here. You know, like.
I got like 3 days to 5 days.
So like Chopper Reed was really supposed to be the first cold shit, which was us 3. You feel me? Like, and it didn't happen that way, but me and Chase still did it, and I feel like I don't know, man.
Nah, bro. Here's what it was, bro.
It's hard to say.
You know what's crazy about it is the album is actually half and half. If you Think about it.
It's not though.
No, watch.
Because if you listen to the other half, like I'm.
Feel what I'm saying?
I was about
there,
more records were made for Chopper Reed than weren't for, but the foundation records were actually not made with Chopper Reed all the way in mind.
Definitely not.
Which is Roses and Long Kiss Goodnight.
But
those
also,
two records.
Here's another thing. I was gonna say, listening to it from a fan's perspective.
First off, I wasn't on Roses. It was supposed to be on Sweet or Romantic.
No, you were always on the hook. You were on the hook.
Oh,
you were always on the hook.
Oh, okay.
It was just the hook, though.
But what I'm saying, when I listen to it,
yeah, I remember.
When I listen to it from a fan's perspective, though, like the project moves in a way that I feel like the most sort of like soulful and almost hip hop shit is at the beginning, and it's almost morose at the beginning and transitions into like choppery.
And it comes back then.
Yes, it comes back. But it sort of starts in this sort of dark place, and then even like coming out of the darkness, there's a certain underlying sort of like haunting.
Well, we didn't realize that we embodied
like
Chopper's
3 or 4
personality.
Was like morose, and then it kind of went to turn up and vibey, and then kind of came back.
Which we didn't realize until
we realized that we was Chopper.
There was one day where we're like, wait a second, we started this album trying to be crazy aggressive like Chopper, and then it turned into the soulful thing. But then we're like, wait a second. That's the juxtaposition. That's the beauty of Chopper Reed. He's a psycho, but you fucking love him. He's charismatic. He's funny. So this album somehow perfectly represented both sides, the yin and the yang, which is what I feel it is. It's like there's a couple crazy aggressive records, but then there's this whole soul, personal, introspective side to it that really is the cult of the album.
Those songs don't make you feel bad.
Right.
And even like how you say aggressive songs, those songs don't make you feel like aggressive. It ain't like fight music or nothing.
Right,
It all falls into this vibey thing.
Like,
but it's just different sort of nuances.
Which it goes back to like Busy Dying. Like, we're not making music for that no more. Mm-hmm. There's no need to fight. Already. You want to fight, fucking join the army, my nigga.
We did it already.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, so the military, you feel me? Like where, like you want to fight, like
and we have the best battle rapper in our squad.
Well, you feel me? Like,
so if fools want to go there, they can holler go.
Chase Moore versus
but facts, like, like listen to me real quick. Like we not making music for you to feel bad no more. Like we not there no more. We making music to feel good. Like we making music to have a good time too. We making music for you to go outside and forget about all the bullshit, all the courts. Dates you gotta go through. You feel me? Like, because we gotta go through that too.
It's just crazy though to me that the initial objective of the EP kind of turned into the opposite, which actually was.
It was. We wanted to make some. We wanted, but see, that's how you realize who Chopper Reed.
Became Chopper.
Because Chopper Reed, when he passed away, it wasn't the Chopper that people knew him as. Because the Chopper that people knew him as was a storyteller.
Yeah.
And when he died, he told you, like, the keys. Like, Chase will tell you, one of the things I hate the most is a fucking ongoing story. Like, I need the end. Like, to a movie, if you have a movie that doesn't finish.
Has
like,
an ambiguous ending.
I fucking hate that shit, bro. I hate the whole fucking movie, bro. I hate all of that shit. So what I'm saying is like,
he's like, I ain't never gonna die in natural causes. He's like, I need a conclusion. Like, oh yeah, I'm killing myself.
Nah, for real. Like, and one of the things that like Chopper had to himself was like an ending, where he was like, no, look, I didn't. Maybe I did do all that shit. Maybe I didn't. But look, I did do this. And that like.
How can a criminal, a convict, who can't even bloody read, be a best-selling author? Huh? Tell me that. Chopper Reed comes out of prison and fucking dropped the best-selling novel in top 10 Melbourne Press, and he can't even bloody read. Bro, that's a bullshit. He wrote a book out.
That's the trailer to this episode. That's the trailer to this episode.
I think Chopper.
He can't even bloody read.
Yo, in my opinion, on some serious shit that I just realized right now.
I'm sorry.
No, on some serious shit that I just realized right now, while you were screaming all that obscene Australian shit out, like was that Chopper was trying to find the art his whole life, bro. And maybe killing was like an art for him. Like, maybe all that shit wasn't art, bro.
He took pride in the showmanship.
He spent his whole life trying to find the art, bro. Yeah. And didn't realize that he was the art.
Yeah. Or he did.
No,
I kind of feel like he knew he was doomed from the start.
It, bro,
so he's like, I'm just gonna live in it.
But that's another layer of art. It's not realizing it, but being it.
I see the look on his face on the last interview.
No, that parallel. I think that parallels.
I see the look on his face on the last interview, and it's the look of a man that knows that people didn't understand why. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's how he died, bro. Mm-hmm. Like that, and that's what shocked me the most, bro. Because like I don't want to die and people not know why. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, every great artist, people know why.
But you know what?
Somehow,
every verse that we have on Chopper Reed, to me, if I were to die, you could go to that album and listen to it, and you could get who I am from that album. You know what I mean?
Hey,
which is I'm saying
about to die.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying on the same shit though. Like,
if you die, I'll kill you.
I know, but what I'm saying, this is literally what we're talking about. Is if that were to happen to either one of us, this album embodies us as well. It's not just, you feel me? Like we really put our life in summary on this album, right?
Yeah.
As well as doing a theme with it, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. To where, but we weren't trying to do a theme with it, not to the end. Yeah. The last handful was like, okay,
that's just a common theme, right? Like that's just a tie-in. That's just that's just a common thread. Because there was already sort of a train of thought, and then it's just the common thread that ties it all together.
Yeah,
right?
I feel like personally, speaking for myself, I felt like Chopper Reed was the person that I needed to prove or to show me that I could be myself, no matter whether the circumstance be bad or good at the end. You know, as long as you're yourself, like you can get to wherever you're going next, being good, you feel me? And that's honestly what I wrote about, bro. If you listen to everything, bro.
You could be a psychopath and be adored by the public.
Yeah.
and but
isn't that every artist, though?
Facts.
Of course. Every artist. This motherfucker, you're a psycho.
Yeah, this fool's a psycho.
I'm a sicko.
Bro, I wake up to Ilmac. If Ilmac falls asleep in the studio, I wake up to Ilmac fucking battling me in my sleep. Like, I wake up to bars about me.
And I'm just levitating off the couch, but I'm battling him in both of our sleep. You know what I'm saying?
See what I'm talking about? That shit annoying, bro. Like it's hard to live in a Chopper Reed world.
Chopper Reed, the theme of the album. We did it.
That's it. It's crazy. It's just crazy to get out barred before you wake up.
It's all good.
Fuck.
You can't
talk to most people I battled. But look,
hey, don't get pushed.
But look,
take your
final question. Final question though.
I want to talk about specific songs.
I think we'll delve into that. I feel like we're getting.
All right. Probably when I get back from my journey.
We can talk about that, but let me check the chat because if there's a question or two, we need to address that because I actually do have. Yeah. Okay.
We can't do it after.
So now let's do that right now because I actually have hold on, let's address one question.
A question right now.
I got one question. I got the chat pulled up and I got questions.
That's cool.
But I have a personal question.
Let's do it.
Oh man,
what was? I'm gonna start with you.
Yeah, start with the Australian.
Hey, and I want to get Lush. I want to get your perspective.
Nah,
yeah, because Lush was here.
Hey, Carney, I want to get your perspective on this as well.
Maybe one song.
I got one question, so think about your answer.
Maybe one song, but sorry, you were there for
think about your answer.
Question?
Here's the question. Chase, first to you. This might be a thing I ask everybody.
Okay.
From here on.
Sure.
Serious question.
Sure.
I shouldn't.
Don't try to be funny.
No, I won't.
All right.
Because I am.
What is?
Sorry, hold on.
What was the last movie you cried at?
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, The Foreigner.
Okay. Nah.
Yeah,
I kind of wanted to cry in The Foreigner. But
what was the last movie? You got choked, you felt it in your throat, and you might have like wiped it out.
My bad. I felt like I hit the buzzer I wasn't supposed to.
It's a great question. Can I answer?
Yeah, let's go.
It's a great question. Okay.
Actually
open, like straight up bawling. Look.
Okay.
No, hold on.
What was the last one?
No,
you beat yourself and cried.
Here's what I'm getting. I have one memory of balling.
Nah, your last one.
Listen, I know. It's a segue because I don't. Besides that, I
cried on girl night out.
Don't have a distinct. Can I fucking answer the goddamn question or no?
Bad mom.
Are you answering? Can I? All right, you answer yours. Go ahead. What's yours? Go ahead.
I feel like I'm in a battle right now. No. My bad. Did I push too hard?
What was the last movie you cried?
It's a segue. Okay. The answer is actually, I don't remember. I think Her, to be honest. But before Her, hold up. But here's what I was getting at. Is before Her, I only have one other memory of crying from a movie. God damn it. Are we going to do a... Can your boy answer a fucking question?
I'm hearing you.
No, can I or not?
I'm agreeing.
Oh, Jesus.
All I did was nod.
All right. Okay, so
San Francisco hat.
I have one memory of really crying in a movie, and that's it besides Her. The answer to the question is Her. But I have a memory when I was a kid about bawling in Mr. Holland's Opus when fucking he dies at the end. The Richard Dreyfuss movie. I remember as a kid. I remember as a kid bawling crazy. And besides that, I don't have any other memory of crying in a movie except Her made me tear up a little bit. Her was the most emotionally struck I've been from a movie in the last 15 years. Bar none. It's the most emotionally invigorating movie, I think, in the last 15
I haven't watched
years.
it. I haven't seen it.
Her is one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life. It's one of the most profound movies. If you really watch it on some, I'm just gonna because I watch movies, bro. I don't talk.
What was the name of the other movie?
I think people who talk during movies when you watch movies are terrible.
They're the same.
Why do you watch the movie?
Why
do you watch the movie?
What was the name of the other fucking movie?
Why do you watch the movie?
Mr. Holland's Opus.
I've never fucking. I'm not from Oregon. I didn't watch it.
That shit is hella racist to me. But yeah,
right. But for some, I don't remember the movie at all. But literally, I have a memory of hella crying when he died, and then Her was the movie that I only shed a tear though.
Her was
I didn't
hard.
cry. I shed a tear in it. But I felt like it had I don't know. That movie to me meant a lot, and that's the last a movie that really I was like.
I've heard a lot of recommendations.
There's a couple other movies that. But a tear, besides when I was a kid with Richard Dreyfuss joint, I think I shed.
No, I did watch that movie a few times.
It's just when he dies. It's because he dies and shit.
I might have.
But besides that, a tear may have been shed in Her. Because of how touched I was.
But nah.
But that's my answer.
Yo, but the people that talk during
movies... I'm a film buff, bro.
Feel me? The people that talk during
Why do you pay to go see the movie?
People that go on cruises.
Wait till you go home. Watch it. Cruises. Watch it in your home. Watch it in the comfort of... Wait till it comes out.
Hey, for me, it was The Foreigner, bro.
I love the movie experience,
We watched it. Yesterday?
You cried yesterday watching a movie?
No, I didn't.
We watched this movie.
I didn't cry.
Oh,
I didn't cry.
You cried on
but Jackie Chan looks so sad in it, bro. He should get an
Oscar. Can I talk during my shit, nigga?
Ah!
Hey,
hold on.
None of this is
Kanye right now. No, I did it too. You're right.
None of this is gonna be.
I think we should include the highlights.
And so it's still mad.
Last movie you cried in, Seb. Bobby. Last movie you cried in.
Hey, I didn't cry in The Foreigner, but you know what? The Foreigner hit me the hardest as any movie has ever hit me because of my dad and because of certain conversations and certain things I've dealt with my dad. You feel me? And my dad's an amazing person, but The Foreigner, for some weird reason, made me connect that to my dad. You feel me? And if you watch that or whatever, I'll watch that in bootleg.
It was HD though, baby.
It was HD though. You know, but
I super feel
but honestly, like that I even talked. I had to have a conversation the next day with somebody about that movie because it affected me so much, and I was waiting for PayPal to hit me back because they fucked up. But in between that, I was talking to somebody about how much it affected me and how I couldn't really talk about it, but I just wanted to talk about how it affected me. I just want to tell somebody it affected me. That movie is fucking crazy, man. The fucking looks, bro.
You see it in his eyes, bro. Jackie Chan's eyes. They do all the acting.
It's
bro.
just the looks, bro. Like first thing I said, first thing I told Chase is, Yo, I don't think I can see Jackie Chan being like sad. He's like, yo, I think this is a serious ass movie. And next thing you know, Jackie Chan's the worst shit that's ever happened to Jackie Chan is happening. And I'm just like, why, God? Why, Oregon God?
Hey, I might have wanted to shed a tear in that movie too,
for sure. Nah, you for sure wanted to.
Nah, for real, I did though. It was emotionally. No, I didn't. No, The Foreigner actually was. Hey, to be real, I didn't cry, but The Foreigner for show was emotional as fuck.
Hey, I didn't cry.
Jackie Chan looks so sad, bro. He has the world destroyed, and in his eyes, he's just like, oh, he's just crying.
Hey, I didn't cry, but I wanted to. So much that the next day I had to have a conversation about it and tell that person to watch the fucking movie because it hit a certain part in my soul, bro.
You know
what's it fucked the movie. Jackie Chan's face.
He should get an Oscar, bro. I'm telling you.
In the first 20 minutes, bro. Fucking.
That fool did more acting than he ever did his whole. Not to say
Leonardo ain't got that shit on Jackie Chan, my nigga.
Fools don't know Jackie Chan for being the good actor. It's like, nah, he's the best stunt dude. He's lit.
Honestly, I'm gonna
watch
say
the
this
first
right now.
20 minutes of The Foreigner, and you're gonna be like, yo,
the
Jackie
Foreigner
Chan is Daniel Day-Lewis.
The Foreigner ruined my life, and if you hear some fucked up music after Busy Dying, that's because
the internet actually hates The Foreigner, but fuck the
internet. Hey,
those are the movies that were emotionally invigorating.
Hey, the internet, nigga. What the fuck is the internet?
Yeah, that's one of the best parts. What the fuck is the internet?
I'm gonna be real though. Like, there's been a hell of movies where I'm not gonna answer my own question.
I died in Big Baby, Boss Baby, or whatever the fuck that shit.
But look, when you said though, like, there's been hella movies I've seen where I'm like so reminded of my dad that where I'm like, this isn't even something
you know what's gonna happen.
But I'm like, this is my dad. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, I can't not emotionally tie myself to that shit.
Up.
Fucking Lion King, you feel me?
Yeah.
Like I gotta.
Was it that Scar?
No,
shout out Jeremy Irons. Shout out Jeremy Irons.
But for real, Lion King fucked me up. I haven't watched it.
Lion King is one of the goats.
I haven't watched it again since the first time, and I remember everything. I broke the VHS.
Yo, you know what the two VHSs
I broke? Nigga.
Yo, hey, blood.
All alone.
Hey, hold on.
Simba's shady as fuck.
Hey, Simba low-key a fan.
Hold on. We need to break this down.
Simba the two VHSs I broke in my life were Friday and The Lion King. Those are the two VHSs I broke.
That's like fucked up.
Let me prove to y'all motherfuckers right now.
Plus the Bay and Sacktown in Australia. That's kind of fucked up.
It makes sense though, right?
That's like fucking.
Does that explain me, The Lion King and Friday?
Look at him.
Talk to him, maybe he's shining right now.
Let me tell you something. Simba is janky.
You ain't fucking with JTT?
He's janky, and I'll tell you why. He just can't wait to be king. You're already plotting.
You want your
father's death.
Damn.
Early in
the movie.
Nala was bad though, so he's lit.
That was after he did though.
Folks was alive. He was a little kid.
Oh, that was the last
scene. Yeah, that distracted me though. Real nigga shit.
Come on, folks. Hold on.
And let me break this down.
First off, Oedipal complex. Oedipal complex.
First off, I'm the only one that heard the cop siren because I'm brown.
Second off, that's actually the proper way. It's over-related to Oedipus.
This motherfucker probably did hit us with the Egyptian.
Nah. Can I say something or is this like a four-line conversation?
No, hold up. Talk to him.
No, because the movies make me cry. I'm going to just break that down for you.
Hold up.
First off, they had some
You feel me now? You feel me now?
Hold on. Like,
there's some weird shit in
First
Lion
off,
King too,
I can't wait to be king type shit. Like, honestly, they took everything away from my G, bro, and he was out here in the jungle eating fucking ants and shit.
He was a lion eating bugs.
You feel me? You
killed Timon and Pumbaa.
The king, that's like Jasmine eating bugs,
yeah,
bro.
Man, you should have
ate exactly in the game reverse.
That's like Jasmine eating bugs. You feel me? But like, honestly, like, honestly, in the Lion King though, listen to me though.
Get the fuck out of here.
Hey, y'all be here plotting on something.
Wow. He's Scar and Jafar.
Just Scar.
Just Scar.
All right.
All right.
Movies. All
right. Look, getting back to your family.
I can't even make my point.
You made your point.
Lion King, nigga. The hyenas. Nobody ever talks about that.
You said you cried.
Hey, fuck hyenas, bro.
What? They hide.
Fuck hyenas, bro.
Nah, for real.
A Siberian tiger over everything in the jungle.
That wasn't even in the movie.
A Siberian tiger ain't in the jungle.
But it's gonna win.
Be like, yo, a
actually,
polar bear.
That shit is Siberia, bro.
No, a Siberian tiger will beat a grizzly bear.
Nah, but for real.
A full grown.
Hey, but for real,
it's all about who strikes first. The grizzly bear could be like,
if the tiger gets the throat, because you can't pierce man. Anyways, we're gonna get
some non-high shit. Can we start talking about the fucking Lion King? Fuck Timon and Pumbaa. They out.
Those movies emotionally.
I'm gonna just move on. I'm not even. Let's
just go.
Cool. Lush.
I don't want to talk about
Lush.
that.
Come no more late questions.
I got answers to that, and I want to hear other people's shit.
I'm a little more concise in these fucking amateurs.
Yeah.
Right?
What was the last movie you cried at, Lush?
Hey, fuck around, call me an amateur one time. You gonna see an amateur throw this fucking lighter though.
I love you guys.
Into the sky.
Now, first of all, I want to say that I'm a very emotional person. I'm empathetic. I'm empathetic by nature. So I'm able, when I see movies, I put myself in it.
Hey, Lush is Rafiki.
I'll be Rafiki.
Facts.
Now, so the movies that were previously mentioned, her, Mr. Holland's Opus, yes, cried at both of those.
Hey, now, that's lit.
Mr. Holland's Opus, you got the scene wrong.
Hey, but not the corner.
The scene that's a tearjerker is when he does an orchestra for his deaf son with lights.
Oh, okay.
And he signs
I haven't watched it since Australia.
That's what makes you cry.
Okay.
So, hey, to be real.
Okay,
Not when he cheats on his wife with his foot. That's another scene. Dreyfus, you scumbag. All right.
Yeah, Jaws was good, but you're a fucking scumbag.
What about Bob was incredible?
Oh my God! What about Bob?
And was that like a European
that was fire.
Because I've never heard of it.
What about Bob? Bill Murray? You don't know about What About Bob?
No. I'm talking about
when
the
Mr.
movie.
Holland's Opus came out, you were like 3 years
younger.
old.
Oh, okay.
It was some early mid '90s shit.
Because I was gonna say
it was like '93.
Yeah, when you mentioned that, I was like, I've never even thought of hearing
'93,
this,
latest '94.
Okay, so
I watched it when I was really young and you're
stupid young.
Yeah.
So the
early
most,
like '93,
I'll be honest with you, the most recent film that made me cry was Straight Outta Compton.
Really?
Straight Outta Compton, and it was in the theater, and it was the scene when
Dr. Dre wasn't filmed.
When he lost his brother.
When
he lost his brother.
No
what scene?
It was when he came out. Is when Ice Cube came out and performed Gangster for like the crowd, like in that little small club. They're like, yo, check out my boy Cube. He's a dope rapper. And it was like, here's a little story about a brother like me. Because that shit.
For real?
Yeah, the nostalgia made me so emotional. I cried.
That's lit as fuck.
But the most recent piece of media that made me cry was a Amazon Prime delivery commercial.
Fuck?
Where have you seen the commercial where the Japanese family has a golden retriever and they have a baby, right? And the baby is afraid of the golden retriever. Every time he's an old dog, until he's been with the family for a long time. Every time the golden retriever walks up, the kid starts to cry. He's scared of it, right? Yeah. But he's reading a book, and there's a lion in his little kid book. He loves a lion. He got a stuffed animal lion. So Japanese dad's all has an idea, goes on Amazon, makes an order. Next day, he's like, all right, let's try it now. Pushes the dog into the living room. Old golden retriever is wearing a lion.
It's a long ass fucking.
He's wearing a lion mane,
and the kid.
Oh, I see that shit. Yeah.
The kids all, and that shit like had me crying like a bitch. Bro. Crying
the kid like assessed the dog.
I looked it up on YouTube afterwards.
Hugs the dog.
I don't know if it's the juxtaposition of the music, but that commercial really
hit you. It hit us all.
Really.
Hey, I'm sorry, but The Foreigner made me feel some way. Even to today, to the point where like I gotta go have conversations after this. But people don't really know, but that shit just tied into like, man, go watch that shit. Just go watch it. Go watch it.
Hey,
it'll fuck you up. If you want to be fucked up for a whole hour, go watch it.
Somebody said the last movie they cried during was Space Jam. That was like 12 or 13
days
ago.
I cried during 90 Days of Back.
Hey, I'll tell you this too. Hey, I'll tell you this real quick too.
D2 the Mighty Ducks are back.
Oh, yeah, Adam Banks. Yeah. Shout out to Adam Banks.
Hey, I won't lie. I remember crying in the theater to Armageddon. When Bruce Willis pushed Ben Affleck back.
Why didn't they do the opposite?
Take care of my daughter.
Why didn't they teach astronauts how to drill?
But listen, it reminded me of my dad. I was like, yo, that's what my dad would do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was that same shit where I'm like, it literally felt like it was like my dad pushing, you know what I'm saying? No. Take care of your bitch. Or whatever. Or just, rap dope.
You know hey, to keep it real,
Bruce Willis was my dad in that movie, and I remember getting choked up and like crying, be like, nah. And then looking at my dad, dead ass. My dad's like the strongest person, like the most savage person I know, and he was like, like crying. I was like,
yep.
I was like, I was that character. You were that character.
The Foreigner, Life of Pi made me tear up.
Yeah, Life of Pi is crazy.
That shit made me tear because I really understood what the fuck he was saying.
Life.
The Green Mile.
The Green
Mile.
Sure.
If you don't cry watching the Green Mile, go to jail, nigga.
Yeah. Yo, this is not. Hey, this is not.
If you don't cry during the Green Mile,
you cry when the rat gets stomped over.
Yes. Yeah. Sam Rockwell. Sam Rockwell is great in that movie. You know what's another scene? I didn't cry in this shit. I didn't cry in this shit. But one scene that I will say that was very emotional, that invokes some shit to me, is, and I swear to God, in the newest Spider-Man Homecoming, there's a scene where Peter Parker's collapsed under the rubble, and there's a scene where Spider-Man has to lift himself. He's buried in this concrete, right?
He killed that.
No, this is amazing. The best 10 seconds of acting I've seen in the last 5 years. This full fucking Tom Holland is buried under this. Spider-Man has to break through the concrete, right? And he's fucking buried, and the sounds that he makes when he's trapped under this shit is so fucking believable. I was in the theater like, oh, this kid is probably the future. I promise you, watch that scene in the movie where the shit collapses, and he basically has to psych himself to fucking break out of it. And I swear to God, those little 15 seconds of him making the sounds of I'm trapped in this shit, it's so realistic, fool. That's a scene.
On par with Jon Snow being buried alive in Battle of the Bastards.
It might be. It's shorter. It's 15 seconds, but
that was
absolutely.
Hey, what dreams may come?
No, hold up. To answer your question,
I don't know about y'all, but Toy Story 3,
facts. On par with that scene, absolutely.
The
way you felt you was in that battle.
What dreams
Toy
may
Story
come?
3?
That's all I'm saying, bro.
Have you seen that? God damn.
What dreams? You didn't cry.
God. I was like, oh.
I didn't cry, but I wanted to cry.
I almost cry every time to this day watching. I get that little choked up feeling even because I know it so well. But it's maybe my favorite movie of all time. Is Good Will Hunting. You know?
That's a great movie.
Oh my God! When Robin Williams,
when he chokes him up.
I just asked you said
when he
to it.
grabs Matt Damon on some it's okay. You know, he's like, oh yeah, stop fucking with me, and he's like, no, it's okay.
Yes,
and he just keeps pressing. He's like, I get. He's like, no, it's okay. And he's like, yeah, no, and to where eventually, like Matt Damon gets choked up in that conversation.
I cried in Good Will Hunting.
I
cried in Good Will Hunting actually.
And I cried how fucking dumb they were for not being able to figure out that easy ass math equation.
I cried in Good. I forgot. I did cry in Good Will Hunting, bro. I did.
If you didn't cry during Wally, you're a serial killer.
Facts.
There's so many.
Wally ruined me, bro. Ruined me, bro.
I'm not afraid,
if you
bro.
Die for a day, watch it.
I'll go into movies with emotional vulnerability.
Wally fucked me up because
you have to
I'm
believe
introvert like Wally was, you know, and like you end up by yourself when the whole world's gone, you know, and like, man, fuck, bro.
He found a little robot.
Fucking Wally, man.
He was trying to.
Wally, bro.
Wally was really hurt.
Honestly, bro, I love movies, bro. We can talk about it for 7 hours.
There's hella movies.
Carney.
Carney.
My man Carney in the Wings. What was the last movie you cried
P.S.
to?
I Love You. Have you ever watched that, bro? That shit'll make you die, bro. I didn't even want to watch that. I accidentally watched that.
You don't have to just let your voice be heard, though. What was the last movie you cried during?
He's like Iraq, 2000 fucking.
Yeah, my home video.
Like,
no, real talk though. That
he's like the fucking mortars going
Geo show is pretty. That gave me goosebumps.
What?
And that Geo show they did.
Oh yeah, what's it
called?
called?
About your shit.
Oh yeah. What's it called?
The Long Road Home.
Long Road Home.
Yeah.
And honestly,
you said it was hella accurate too, right? Like it was. You were there, bro.
Yeah, you told me about that.
That's
shit.
crazy, bro. Yeah. Hey, what's it? One more time. What's it called again?
Long Road Home.
Long Road Home. The boy Carney is the Long Road Home.
Hey, our boy was in that shit. If you go watch that shit right now, it's on Netflix, right?
Drug dealers, 50K plated.
It's on. Hey, that's just on Nat Geo. Our boy actually experienced all that shit, and it's crazy as fuck. Go watch it, Long Road Home. Anyway.
But like movies, you know what? I caught this movie, and I don't know if any of y'all seen this. It came out in 1998.
Hell,
it was my first time seeing it. I caught it on TV like a few weeks ago, and it just kind of made me feel away because I
What's
really
the name of it?
I think it was called What Dreams May Be or something.
I just said that.
Oh, what the fuck? What Dream May Come?
I just said that 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, with Robin Williams.
Hold on a second.
Bro, have I not told you?
You just talking about that?
Yeah, I just.
Oh, I have my headphones on. Yeah, I just saw that movie for the first time.
If you don't cry when you see that, you're a fucking piece of shit.
Holy fuck. And plus, I love Robin Williams, and like, he was a real one. You know what I mean? Like, the epitome of the sad clown. He was dealing with some shit.
Whatever's in my pocket right now, $400 down that I
feel like there's a lot of suicide in this country.
Hella time.
And, you know,
What Dream May Come where Robin Williams fucking is in that shit, bro. I swear to God, I've only watched that shit once, bro, and that shit changed my whole life and perspective on God and shit. And like, man, bro, that movie is probably the most life-changing movie that I've ever seen. What Dream May Come.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Vanilla Sky, Cloud Atlas, hit me in the
Hey, Vanilla Sky was
I know you like Cloud Atlas.
I do too. Cloud Atlas.
Cloud Atlas is a layered movie.
Bro,
there's 6 layers to it.
You can watch that shit like hella
bro,
times.
I call all you
Cloud
guys
Atlas
be like, what Dream May Come.
It's the only other movie the Wachowskis did that I liked. All the other ones suck.
You know,
Matrix.
Hey, you know why I like
Cloud Atlas are fire.
You know why I like What Dream May Come?
Jupiter Ascending is one of the worst movies of all time.
Because there's a part 2 to being a shitty person, and without being a shitty person. Because there's people in this world that had to be shitty people without having to be shitty people. You feel me? And had to die that way. You feel me? And like Robin Williams literally goes back and fucking and finds his love through hell, my nigga. He literally walks through hell and back to bring his love back because he believes in that. You feel me?
It was amazing.
And that's honestly.
See, I've seen that so I've seen it, but I've seen so long, I don't even remember.
Yeah, I don't remember. I
literally don't remember.
Bro, I watched it when I was like,
I don't remember
15,
either.
16.
I've seen it.
I've seen it
multiple
times.
And I remember watching it, but I don't remember the plot.
Bro, Cuban Gooding Jr. kills that shit. Fucking, the plot is pretty much he walks through hell to bring his love back from hell because she committed suicide.
I was thinking it would be pretty crazy to watch that again on mushrooms.
I can't watch movies.
It was kind of a psychedelic movie, though, bro.
Don't do that.
Yeah, it was visually.
Don't do that.
Yeah, sliding through the pavement.
The emotional train wreck.
It'll fucking like
you know. Yeah. I just wanted to make sure we covered ground.
Yeah,
let's wind this up with Ilmac. How we end up here? How we end up at this wooden table with Ilmac?
It's just time and space delivery.
Tell them about it, you know?
Nah, like, that's why, you know, if you're tuned in, you already know it's fucking been trying to build the YouTube channel even more, you know, and I want to start giving these looks, you know, and these sort of, like, the context. It's almost like the between the bars, but for artists I know is what I want to do, you know, like, I know some of these stories, but even as we're going through all this shit, there's hella shit that either I forgot or I'm like, wait, what is the exact, you know, like, how do you feel about it? And it's like, it's a dope experience, and I just want to continue to create that. I appreciate that everyone that tuned in on the live chat. We'll definitely put this up on the Patreon first, which is patreon.com/illmactv. But the point of it is get more familiar with Chase Moore, obviously, Bobby Bucher, and dive into Chopper Reed. I wanted the story behind that because I think the album is amazing. You know what I'm saying? And Nah, yeah.
I mean, bro, it's to me, it's the perfect embodiment of what I want to do musically. Like I don't really listen to my own music hella outside of the lab, but there's songs like specifically "Long Kiss Goodnight" that I promise on my grandma's soul that every single time I listen to it since I made it, I get goosebumps. And every single, and I mean every single time. And I don't always get that from. I mean, I do, but goosebumps. You know what I'm saying? There's a couple songs I get goosebumps to. They Won't Go When I Go, Stevie Wonder. I get goosebumps to that song every time I listen to it. It's my favorite song of all time. There's certain songs I get, and I'm not comparing our shit to that, but all I'm saying is I think there's songs on Chopper Read that to me, yeah, I do. You know, because we make so much music that it almost gets in a routine to where you kind of forget about songs or beats or shit. And there's songs, and it's not just Long Kiss Goodnight. There's a few songs on Chopper Read that really strike a chord. Like I was even talking to my parents yesterday. And then, you know, just we hadn't talked to them a little bit, and I was just filling them in on shit. And I was even telling them, I'm like, yo.
Which, if y'all weren't listening, they're the fucking greatest.
Yeah. Yeah, shout out to my parents. For sure. But I was even telling them, I was like, this album represents, like, where I'm at right now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and you got it out when it was still fresh.
Yeah, it's not old.
Which is rare.
Yeah. The oldest song is a few months
We're still bumping it, which is rare because people are getting that. But one thing I wanted to say about Chopper Read is like, it's like there is no story. Like there is no story. There is just a before. You know, there is no why Chopper Read. It's just Chopper Read was just who we chose. You know, there's no why. There's just
it was just there
a before and how it happened, and we just ended up here.
Yeah.
You know, the way that Chopper Read ended up there. You know. And that I think that's like the point of all this shit is that there's no beginning, there's just where we are right now, you know, and that's like what Chopper Read is, you know, Scaramatic, all that shit.
Yeah.
For sure.
But yeah, Chopper Read
it's one color in a threaded Argyle sweater.
Yeah.
But it's like a red.
It's
something that ties it all in.
It's the whole sweater. It's the whole
long sweater.
It's the whole
like a rugby sweater.
That's the thing, man. It's the whole sweater. Rugby shit do be long though, huh? Rugby shit.
Hey, 667colt.com.
Colt with a K, baby.
Appreciate y'all for fucking with us.
Chopper Read, Chase Moore, Bobby Butcher. The album is out now at all digital outlets. Ilmax on it. Satire, Lush One, featured on the album. Produced by your boy, written by us. Bobby Butcher, Cheddar Mother.
Alright, fuckos.
Say.
Karate Joey. Go watch all the Raising the Bar shit too. If you don't watch it, I'm gonna find you and watch it with you. Because we ain't about that evil shit.